Happy Thursday, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Live Intuitive Oracle. I put the announcement out last night that I was going to go an hour later than usual, but I was super exhausted and tired. I'd had a long day. So here we are because I want it to be nice and fresh and ready to go. Sorry, I just took like a huge vape. Now I can't breathe. Hi, everybody. So good to see you all. I saw some emails come in today. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I had a long day yesterday, but it was a productive day and it went pretty well, according to my standards. Anyway, let me start with the top of my stream here. Eris Mana, what is up? Yes, my day today was much less hectic. Finished up some Christmas shopping. Lotus Girl, what's up, girl? So good to see you. I hope all is well with all of you. Blue Crossroads and Shauna. Yes, a rare Thursday night gathering. It was going to be Thursday night anyway for the next live content stream, but I just wasn't able to do it. And we'll find our groove with that and see which days work and which times and all that too, because I want to keep putting out two, topics a week, but I figure a chit chat and topic is the best way to go about doing that, because the pre-recorded videos they just weren't doing well. Ralph and Cassie. Francis Diesel girl, nice to see you. It's been a while. Ufologist Vixen Doe. Jules Facets, what's up, mama? Andrew and Gnomes Trucking Express, Madison Teague. So good to see you all. It really is. I have Richard Elmore. Hi. I've been selling a couple of the holiday sprays and holiday gift boxes here and there. The info for that is in the description box. Also, autographed copies of any or all three of my books. I'm going to bring in Steven. I did get a new deck for this week. It is called Urban Crow. If you like crows, it's a really awesome deck. I actually really do like the artwork and how it looks. So let's bring in Steven and let's get this show on the road. Hello. Hi, Steven. Hi, Ghost Dragons.
Got my buddy with me.
Oh, I didn't even see him because your chair is blue too. Let's just jump right in. Why don't we do that?
Let's do that. Sounds good. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? And Eris Mantis is first.
All right, Eris. Eris, let's use I've got a few out I haven't used in a while, and then the new one. I'm going to use ET Experiencer.
Hello, everybody.
Been a not so good week. Blue Crossroads, what's going on? Build a boat and start putting animals aboard.
A lot of rain down there, a lot.
Do you mean weather-wise it's been not so good a week, or just kind of energetically, blah, that type thing? I've been low energy this week. I keep forgetting to take my super greens in the morning. But with everything that happened yesterday, like I said, it was a long day and a frustrating day, but everything ended pretty good, as good as can be expected. So I feel like I'm coming into a better time now, as far as personally and spiritually, energetically. All right, Eris, let's do this. Again, guys, if I do not, when I'm channeling and reading and talking and all that, I sometimes don't see your comments. So I know that I was talking to one of our regulars yesterday, and she was saying how she does not want to come in, or she hasn't been coming in because everybody hates her. And I kind of told her, like, it's weird that someone would think that from our chat. So if she was thinking something like that, number one, it wasn't true. And this goes for all of you guys, because everyone that's in here right now is a regular. Try to maybe look at what else is going on in your life that would maybe be giving you a little bit of insecurities or making you feel maybe less than, or things like that. Because I can't imagine anyone, it is tough to talk and channel. Yes, I do put an L in there, that maybe, because I can't see anyone walking away from this channel feeling that way. Okay, so Eris, you got the Earth Teacher card. And these are These cards are a little tricky, so give me a minute to find Earth. This is probably not the best card to start out with, but I don't get to choose them, so let's just see. Oh, Earth Teacher. Okay. Yes. You may have an important role involved with your extraterrestrial contact. You get to teach other beings about what it's like to be human. Extraterrestrials can often be curious about our ability to feel emotions, or biology, or what makes us essentially who we are as humans. What would you share if extraterrestrials were listening? You can decide what's important to you and teach it to them. You may have had memories aboard crafts or on another world, holding an audience with others not like you, who are listening to share and teach as well. Some of these memories can invoke a sense of great communion and can leave you experiencing a lot of joy. So, Eris, whether or not something like this is happening to you, and I'm not saying it has to necessarily be extraterrestrial in nature, but this card could be calling you to be using your experiences, or to start using your experiences to teach others, or as I like to say, or we say here in Jersey, to learn others. I'll learn you about that, to maybe there's someone in your life right now, and I kind of do see you holding court, so to speak, right? So there could be some people or other people that you're kind of close to in your life who are, I'm not seeing them coming to you for advice, but you may see someone struggling and you may understand what they were going through, or you maybe just get an instant download of what needs to be said to them, what they need to hear. And that's kind of like what it feels like to be a channel or a seer or a medium. Is like you'll just be walking down the street and you'll make eye contact with someone, and then the messages start coming in. And you have to use your discernment as to who you want to approach, because you don't want to end up getting punched in the face or otherwise hurt, or hurting somebody emotionally or whatever. But I think when the time is right, and maybe it's going to start coming in this week, you're going to receive random messages about people that you're close to, or even people that even in the periphery of your life. And it's up to you to decide whether you should bring those messages to them or not. Check back in next Wednesday when we do this. But I do really think that there is a lot to this card for you right now, Eris. Pay close attention to your dreams as well. I am a firm believer that as we sleep, what's up, Salvatore? As we sleep, our spirits do leave, and we do go all different places, wherever our soul wants to go. And I do believe that some of us do commune with extraterrestrials and teach them about our ways of lives, and our normally it's about our very broad range of emotions. And something like that could be going on with you here. So as long as you don't approach it from a place of fear, you should be good to go. Never, ever, ever let fear dictate any of your choices, how you respond to or react to people. You could be a twin flame with someone who believes absolutely nothing that you believe in. And as long as you guys aren't judging each other or trying to use those other things against each other, it's a great way to connect and communicate. When you start trying to use it as poison or as a weapon, that's when it becomes hurtful and can make the one person shut down. So make sure that even if someone doesn't necessarily believe in or believe what you're telling them, that you just do so from a place of love and let them do with it what they will. Who's next?
Lotus Girl. I know she's listening, so.
Lotus Girl is always like my guinea pig on new decks. And I don't do that on purpose. It just seems like whenever I have new decks, I'm called to use them on her right away. So, Jules, I do owe you an oracle reading, and I sent it because I think you had asked about it last week, and I sent the tarot reading, and I was like, okay, I'm also going to send you an oracle because I was going to do it for your birthday. And then when I went back and looked, it's like it wasn't sent. And if I didn't send it, I would just say I didn't send it, but I did send it. And that's happened to me with like 2 or 3 other people in the past couple of months. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to do it right away because I know you've been waiting for a while. Maybe the messages just weren't for you. I can't be that tech challenged that I'm just, I don't know. I've sent very detailed messages to like Aunt Edna that I can see that I sent it, but she cannot see that it was sent and she never received it. So I don't know what's going on there, but I will take care of it. All right, Miss Lotus Girl, Urban Crow. All right. You got card number 39, the card of release. When the time comes, you cannot grieve anymore and it is time to let go. Release is the next step. This card may come to you when you need help moving forward or accepting an ending. It is time to move on, rise up, and release yourself from the past. Release represents the transition between letting go and moving on. It is that moment when we become aware that we can no longer hold on to the past or an event that cannot be altered. You may need to consider if your situation is blocked or impacted by something that needs to be released. And that was like the first message that came into my head, Tennille, was that I don't think that it's so much moving on from something or someone. I feel like it's more about being stuck, feeling stuck, knowing you're stuck, being stuck, and trying every which way but loose to become unstuck, except maybe looking at some old attachments you may have. Maybe you might want to do like a chakra alignment. I know you're not feeling physically well right now, but when you can, we don't want to like keep dwelling like what moment could it be and start running through a Rolodex of terrible moments and bring ourselves down. But I definitely do feel something here that is attached to you that you picked up along the way somewhere. And I'd say in the last year or two at the longest that this energy kind of attached to you. Now it's not an entity, it's an energy. Like someone came over your house numerous times, or someone daily or weekly comes in your house and they're just leaving behind all their mess. And I do feel like that's not the only reason, but that is a lot of the reason for the sickness running rampant basically through your family right now. And not just physical illness, but energetic sickness, the not being able to move forward in life, the not being able to really, ever feel like you're making a substantial move in the right direction, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard it seems like that's what's happening. And I do feel like there's someone in your life who is just constantly dragging their poop through your house, energetic poop I'm talking about. And for some reason, it's like you may even be protected from everybody else's energetic negativity and energetic stuff. But this person, it's like they need a little more oomph. I would try to get rid of them altogether, but considering I'm pretty sure I know who this person is, it's probably not going to be easy to keep them out of your house all of the time. As I always say to you and to everyone else, kind of put extra measures up when this person is around. They are definitely going through some sort of, they're not in a dark night of the soul because their energy is mainly dark, okay? Layla Gas, hi, Nutslap, what's up? Their energy is abundantly dark. So right now they're in a really good place. So they're looking to spread some madness and spread some drama and spread some, everything else negative that they're spreading. And because there's physical illness and maybe some energetic sickness going on in your house, you're not as protected as you should be. So you're good with crystals. Look into certain stones. I'm going to be sending your Christmas package out within probably by the end of next week. So hopefully you get it by Christmas. I'll put some stuff in there too that can really help kind of clear the air, literally, even more so than like sage or palo and things like that. Anyone else that I did not see come in? Hello and welcome.
Blue Crossroads and Shauna are next. Do a special one for Shauna. She's a little rough.
Okay. We will
I think she's sleeping.
Okay. Let's do Shauna's first. I'm also going to use the Urban Crow on Shauna.
Well, you look nice tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I look like I always do.
You always look very nice. I feel like it's one of those things again where I feel like there's a hair in my eye and there's not, because every time I go to grab it, it's not there. Oops.
You got a ghost hair. That's what I call them. Ghost hairs.
That's what it feels
I
like.
get them sometimes too. It's like, what the heck, man? Where are you?
All right. Hold on. The deck kind of somehow knocked over on its own over here. So let me just put that there. Okay. Shauna got the card number 35, and it's the card of perspective. Crows really do hang upside down. These birds take this position to get at the food that would not be attainable otherwise. When you take a moment to stop, disengage. Okay, now I can see it too. Sorry. When you take this moment to stop, disengage, and open your mind to seeing the situation from a different perspective, you might realize there's more information available that will assist in ensuring the best course of action is taken. When perspective appears, your situation will benefit from slowing down and holding off on any significant decision-making, as you may not have all of the information that's available to ensure that all aspects of the situation are considered. This card also showed up in my reading today. I am getting the need for a fresh perspective, a fresh look at things, looking at things from a point of view that maybe you hadn't considered before. I also am getting on this card that there's a need for like some time in order to gain perspective. I don't really know what that's about, Miss Shauna. But I do feel like as the week progresses, as the month progresses, because I've been talking a lot of seers, oracles, astrologers have been talking about 2023 and how for the light workers it's going to be a lot better than 2022 was. And hopefully by March we don't get taken over. Hey, Dargo. But I feel like as the weeks progress, maybe into a month or so, I think you're going to start considering things you never really considered before. Considering options, considering ideas, considering people maybe that you've never really considered before making a part of your life or a part of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. If I'm just focusing on this week though, Shauna, I would say take a step back. Again, don't make any major decisions. Try your best to stop this hamster wheel of kind of worry that I'm seeing going through your mind. It's okay to put on a happy face and kind of try to move through the day in a positive way. But this is one of the few times I would suggest not kind of faking it until you make it, not pretending everything's okay when it's not, while at the same time, not constantly ruminating on what's not okay. So the perspective that I kind of see, one of them that you could maybe, to give an example, that you could maybe start looking at things from is a solution-based perspective. So instead of thinking, I can't believe this went wrong, and just thinking of that thing over and over again, maybe start thinking I can solve it this way, or I can do this to relieve it, or I can, go to this person to get some help. There are new ideas, fresh perspectives coming in. You just have to sit back, relax, and be patient. No hasty decisions, no, snap judgments, no extremely quick decision making.
Everything, one step at a time.
Everything, especially this week, needs to be very thoroughly thought through. And yes, definitely don't jump steps, one step at a time. And if you're having trouble on step 2, it's very important that you don't rush forward to step 4 or end up going all the way back to step 1. It's okay to stay where you are, take a look around, and get that fresh perspective before you move forward. Pam Smith, so good to see you. Methodical, yes. Blue Crossroads, I'm going to use one I haven't used in a while. I'm going to use Sacred Hags. So nice to see you all. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
She had to yank my chain a couple times to pull me out of the basement. You coming or not? And he's there. We know you're there. Blue Crossroads. Blue Crossroads.
Oh, yeah. The Soul Cages, Blue Crossroads. The Soul Cages. Okay. And that is card number 38. It's like a giant book. That's why it's compared to like Night Fairies.
And send you an encyclopedia with them all in it.
Grandmother speaks. Oh, my beloved, allow me to share with you a too brief version of the Irish folk tale called The Soul Cages. Once on the mistiest of shores, there lived a spirited fisherman who, on the mornings after the storms raged, would go to the beach and gather up the bounty from the crashed ships. I can talk. This is driving me crazy because I can see it too. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. A king he believed himself to be. One dark day, however, he met a merrow, half fish and half man, who showed him the horror of the soul cages, undersea traps where this creature kept the souls of the dead sailors. The fisherman rethought his riches, for these dead and imprisoned souls were surely from the same ships that carried his gold and his whiskey. He pondered and then he plotted, and in time he seduced the merrow with drink and set all the souls free. Expecting a great reward he was, but alas, all he received was a spectral whistle when the souls rose from their traps and joined the realm of the restful dead. Isn't that the way of it? We all carry such potent medicine, such immense gifts, but rarely are these gifts as valued in our society as we would want them to be. Our reward is just like the fisherman's, a spectral whistle. No metal shall be pinned to our chests. The wealthy artists are few and far between. Show me an herbalist dripping in jewels or a midwife who rules over an estate. Even so, we carry our medicine. We bring it to the world. We must. What other choice do we have? So, I feel a lot of frustration coming from this card. I feel like, trying to think of how to put it. So you have a lot of attributes, a lot of parts of your personality, and just knowledge in general that if and when released out into the world could really and should really make people stand up and pay attention. I feel like you're like screaming and shouting for something, and you're 100% right, but nobody's listening. It's kind of like when you talk to someone with gifts or abilities who never spoke of it in their whole life until like this year, and they're like 60 years old, because they were afraid of ridicule. They were afraid of society making judgments. And I don't see it as being something like that. I just feel like you're sitting there like, what more do I have to do to make this person or these people see things the way that I'm seeing them, or to understand that what I'm saying to them is true and or for their best? There's some point you're trying to get across, or some lesson you're trying to teach another person or others that I feel like you're just getting sick of. I feel like there's this part of you that's becoming fed up either with the system, with a system of people who do things a certain way. And it's not really that you're saying you can do better, but you're saying like nobody's paying attention to what you have to say. And I don't know in what area of your life this has to do with Blue Crossroads, and it could have to do in more than one, but it's like, you know what you're talking about. Like, you've been there, you've done that, or you've researched, or all three. But still, these people are sitting by and they're not listening to you, and they're doing it all wrong, and it's somehow affecting you in a very personal way. So what and or whoever this is that's not listening and not paying attention, try not to get too frustrated about it. And maybe along with Shauna, step back and take a different perspective and understand that you can't change other people's minds and or viewpoints. Like, it really doesn't happen. It doesn't matter how much you know what you know or how much proof you present. And this is another one of those really confusing readings for me. It might even be confusing for you, but I hope that as we move through the week, you'll be able to understand what or who this is. It's like somebody is set in stone, set in their ways. This is the way to do it. You know, it's ABC. And you're like, yeah, but it could be A, B, C, D, and E, and then it would be so much better. And they're like, nope, ABC. That's how I know. I learned it that way. Like that kind of stubbornness, that somebody being ruled by ego or pride, who's just not willing to listen to what you have to say right now. And I don't know why this is such a huge deal, because usually with people like this, we kind of just say, okay, and we move on. So you might need something from this person, or you might be extremely close to this person. You might see this person going down the wrong path, or this person could have something that you very badly need or want, but they're not willing to give it to you because they don't agree with something you're saying. I don't know. There's something really deep and in depth there that I'm just not seeing. Who's next?
Ralph and Kathy. Did you get it? Did you get the hair?
I think so, but I wasn't thinking about it at that moment.
No, I'm going to make you think about it.
Because if I didn't get it, I'm definitely going to be annoyed by it again. But I think I got it. I think it's those little. Some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. Well, ladies and guys, when you do like. You use like a big brush for like your setting makeup, and like the little, or like even a blush brush, makeup brushes, okay? And like the little tiny bristles come out and they stick, but they're like the same color as my makeup, which means I can't really see them when I look in the mirror. I think that's what we're dealing with. Sorry about any background noise, guys. My mom sometimes forgets that
really
I
can't hear her. I mean, you can hear her a little bit, but not really.
She forgets, and Damien's constantly shushing her, and then I feel bad that he shushes her, but she doesn't do it on purpose.
It's mom.
Yeah.
It's mom.
I'm unable to close the door to the room I'm in like I normally do, because I have Christmas presents under the tree, and there's so many of them. They're like backed up onto the door here. All right, Ralph. I'm using the Shaman's Dream Oracle for you.
Just spider webs, huh, Ralph? Here you go.
Ew, no, that's gross. I don't mind spiders, but like they are like the one bug that gives me the creeps. Okay, Ralph, you got card number 18. At the other house, it's in the woods, so there are all kinds of really strange, creepy crawlies. So, Ralph, you got Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. Protection, inherent trust. The Eyes of the Eagle offers you the gift of foresight, the skill of looking ahead to see the unfolding of destiny before it all manifests as reality. The eagle's extraordinary vision allows it to spot the tiny mouse from its lofty perspective as it flies thousands of feet into the atmosphere. In a similar fashion, you too can train your keen eye to discern the workings of humans. Eyes of the Eagle is an invitation to witness the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, yet react to nothing. Act only to further your noblest calling. The eagle flies above all creatures. When it meets obstacles, it simply rises above them. Know that you are protected. You can fly high above the judgment slings and arrows and the darts of envy from others who may not have your great wings and are still arguing with the pigeons over simple crumbs. Trust that you are ready for whatever fortune has placed before you, even if you feel not yet properly equipped to meet all of its challenges. Your willingness to say yes to spirit has nothing to do with how well outfitted you are. Hesitating, on the other hand, will suck the air from under your wings and make you lose altitude. You are called now to trust your heart and your instincts, to move fearlessly and not waver. The time is right, and no harm can come your way if your motives are pure and you act courageously. So I do see a little bit of Spirit's message coming in this card for you, but one of the main things I'm getting is to make sure that I tell you not to act from a place of fear, okay, ever, about anything. And that's going to be a running theme this week in these readings, because it's been a running theme for me personally throughout the week. And usually when that starts happening, it like all leads up it all leads up to themes in the readings. And I've been looking back, watching a little bit of the readings, and it just seems like I'm like, oh my gosh, I was dealing with that week, and that was the theme of the week. So not entering anything from a place of fear. And I do feel like you're being led either towards someone or towards something by your heart. Now, normally we want to be very rational and logical about things. We want to include our hearts in it, but mainly we follow our gut or our mind. I mean, a lot of us don't operate from heart center. Some of us do. This week, the universe is saying that that's exactly what you should be doing. If you feel in your heart that what you're doing is right, go for it. Full speed ahead. Don't stop for a second. Don't hesitate. Don't double think. Don't think twice, because then you give yourself the opportunity to take a step back, or you give yourself the opportunity to talk yourself out of whatever this is. This could be either the rekindling of a romantic relationship or the rekindling of an old friendship, or I do feel like another person is involved in this. It could also have to do with business as well, but I'm really getting a connection between people here. So it could have to do with definitely a love relationship. It could be something as simple as, what's up, Zerg the Berg? It could be something as simple as, you know, maybe you said something without properly thinking it through, or agreed to something and now you want to back out. And maybe your heart's like, oh, but I'll really hurt this person's feelings. And you decide to go through with it and put yourself through it anyway. But I do feel like there's more here. Seeing things from a higher perspective, right? Like the eagle, the eyes of the eagle, Ralph. Seeing things from a higher perspective. So knowing in your heart that these random thoughts and ideas, this random person that's popping into your head are exactly what and or who should be popping into your head right now, and taking action, whatever that may look like for you, and doing it this week.
You ready? Okie dokies. Diesel Girl.
Diesel Girl, I'm going to do Journey of a Lonely Soul. And I hope you're well. It's been a while. So good to see you all. We're missing Aunt Edna. We're missing Smoochie, Bat Mom, but it is Thursday night.
Yeah.
So on Monday, hopefully Monday, when we do the live content, it's going to be, thanks to Blue Crossroads, the Phantom Time Hypothesis or Phantom Time Theory, which I looked a little bit into. And I was like, holy smokes, like this is literally insane. So that's going to be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. live on this channel on Monday.
Thank you very much, Ralph.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who donates, orders, scents and boxes and the Christmas stuff I have out, and who just supports me in all ways, including financially. Diesel Girl, you got black silk armor. Card number 14. The elements rage against her, a hurricane of howling winds and roiling sands. Without hesitation, she adorns herself with her own anger and ambition and sets the storm into a hasty retreat. Light Worker, hello. Diplomacy, compassion, and fairness. Your profile picture looks familiar. Diplomacy, compassion, and fairness are wonderful traits to hone and develop, but some situations require steel and determination. The world will demand that you be silent in order to protect the status quo. If you dare to stand out, you must be ready to rise above the tidal wave coming to knock you down. Honor your unique vision by being willing to fight for it. Many creatures ward off threats by using their stature and movements to intimidate and befuddle. Love that word. Before it was adopted by the world of fashion, glamour meant to enchant, charm, or bewitch. All of us True Blood fans know that. Use all the arts at your disposal to present an uncompromising visage. Practicing power poses and affirmations will help awaken the warrior within and boost your confidence. And above all else, remember the authority and sovereignty contained in the word no. So I feel like for this week, Diesel Girl, that what this card is trying to get through to you, at least if we're looking as something for the week, as a weekly message. What's up, Cowie? I I feel like you're facing a lot of opposition, and I don't know on which area of your life or if it's several areas. A lot of us in this community are facing opposition in a lot of areas of our lives. That's why most of us are in dark nights of the soul right now, trying to claw our way out. Give me a minute, please.
She'll be right back.
Be right there, guys. I've got to close the door.
Yeah, I figured. I could hear them just enough. If I'd had headsets on, I probably could have.
It's just that it pulls me off what I'm saying.
Hey, Kirby. How you doing, guy? Girl, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't know.
All right, guys. That's the best I'm going to get as far as quiet. So, okay. I feel like we're all facing, what's up, Kirby's and anyone else? Opposition with things that we really feel adamant about or that we feel strongly about. But again, when we face opposition or when people try to come against us or go against what we're saying or doing, even if it's our own personal stuff, like believing in the paranormal, right? There's still a lot of judgment attached to that and things like that. It tends to, even if it's just a tiny bit, make us second guess and make us rethink and make us kind of reroute what we were planning on doing, what we're thinking of saying, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, a lot. And that either happens on a very small scale, and sometimes it could be a very big scale that this is happening on. And Diesel Girl, I think that for this week, that's going to be what's going on with you. I think that you've been facing some opposition, and it was a little bit, and then it was like you kind of second guessed it. Maybe you rerouted what you were saying or doing just a little bit, but now like whatever or whoever caused you to do that tiny little rethinking, rerouting is like now wanting more. And it's like your very core is being questioned, what you stand for, what you believe in, what you were 1,000,000% ready to fight for, things like that. These are very big things that I'm seeing people being opposed to you doing. And what this card is saying is you need to weather the storm. It doesn't matter if at the end of the day, you're even left by yourself in your belief or by yourself in your fight, because you know what? You won't be that way for long. That just weeded out all the people who you don't need in your life. Okay. That just got rid of, I say it every week, so why not this week? Mind over matter. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. And those who mind and those who don't matter, you know, that group, they'll be weeded out because you decided to say no. Like, I'm not backing down on this. Like, I backed down on A, B, and C, but like this, I cannot compromise on. And then you're going to see people go running for the wins. And you might feel alone because of that, but you are going to find people that support you or a person that supports you if this is love. Don't compromise yourself, your belief, your goals, even your words this week, because I feel like this week particularly is very important for you to stand up for and stand for what and or whoever this is about, because it's like a turning point in your spirit, if that makes sense. That's kind of how I saw that. It sounds weird, but it is. It's a turning point.
Okay, ufologist is next. I think they're light worker too. That's why it looked familiar, because the picture looks the same, but I could be wrong.
No, Lisa Pasquale is light worker. She said she's starting her own channel soon.
It did look, the pictures almost look identical.
It's a guy and a girl, I think. I don't know.
Ufologist, you're next. And
but what do you call it? I'm always happy when somebody is about to start their own channel, especially in this community. We need a lot more honest people. We need a lot more people who aren't willing to back down. And who aren't willing to compromise for the sake of maybe saving some face. Ufologist, I'm going to use Aether Creatures. I heard that song today, Blue Crossroads, actually.
Sorry about that. They look so close. I was like, wait a minute. No, I didn't think you were. I had to scroll back and catch the Lisa Parkrell, and I was like, oh, okay, duh.
It was so weird because that's the only like message I've seen like since I've been channeling, was just trying to see who that was. All right, ufologist, you got Shedu, SHEDU, and it looks kind of like a really cool looking zebra. It's card number 24, and you got it in the upright. Oh, wow, this is super long, so let's jump right in. If Shedu comes to you right side up, she comes as the mascot of strength, a warrior totem. Shedu does not appear unless you find yourself in a threatening situation in your life. Shedu's willingness to fight to the death has earned her a certain kind of immortality. She teaches you to relentlessly take on life's challenges and to never give up or give in. Her presence and power suggests that something that feels too hard to control and even wild is happening in your life. This may be awakening predatory or aggressive feelings within you directed at someone or something else. This situation is probably also making it hard to control your emotions. When a warrior does not master his or her emotions, they become a weakness that others can and will exploit. Therefore, if Shedu comes to you right side up, it is critical to master your emotions in the situation at hand so that you are in a position to respond instead of react. Reacting in this scenario could be disastrous and exactly what will cause you to, quote unquote, lose the fight. And boy, do I know it. I am a big one on responding, not reacting, because it did cause a lot of damage in my life. So because of this, you must, 1, become aware of the emotion, 2, care about the emotion by seeing it as valid and important, and listen empathetically to it in an attempt to understand the vulnerable position. The vulnerable personal, truth it is carrying. Every emotion is the carrier of a personal truth. Seek to understand why you really feel the way you do. Acknowledge and validate the feelings. Allow yourself to feel how you feel and to experience your emotion fully before moving toward any kind of improvement. Shedu is bringing you 3 things you need right now: personal strength, courage, and mastery over your reactions. She reminds you that reacting will get you nowhere. You are officially warned about the danger of reactivity mode. This is where your defense mechanisms and protector parts of your consciousness take control of your embodiment. This is the phase in which you tend to succumb to knee-jerk reactions. The way you respond in reactivity mode depends entirely upon the ways that you learned in your childhood to protect yourself. For example, a person who learned the method of denial will begin to deny the entire thing is happening at all. A person who learned that the method of fighting will become aggressive and oppositional. A person who learned that hyper-responsibility kept them safe will begin to blame themselves and obsess over how they could have avoided the accident entirely. How are you currently tempted to react based on your past experiences? Reacting in this situation will not do a thing good for you. So, okay, definitely something you're either going through or that you're about to go through, ufologist, where the universe is giving you a warning, okay? The universe is telling you that it's perfectly okay. And I'm not saying that this is better, or that this is what's happening. I was reading Better Than Joe Rogan. I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but here's a good example. So you walk in on your significant other cheating. It is perfectly reasonable for you to want to explode in anger and rage. However, maybe backing out and closing the door for a second and like composing yourself would be the better choice than going into physical attack mode due to the anger and rage. And I think that's kind of what the universe is saying here, or Spirit's saying, is that it's not so much that you shouldn't be having the emotions and the reactions that you're having, but kind of keep them inward. Okay. I'm not getting much about like looking to your past for answers. That's not what I'm getting from this card. But I am getting that there's something going to happen where you're being tested by the universe. Do you want out of the dark night of the soul or not? You have to prove that you've learned this lesson of responding versus reacting. How can you show grace in the situation to the person and or in that moment? Okay. And it needs to be in that moment. So coming back later, because a lot of the times we immediately realize like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have sent that text in haste, or oh my gosh, I shouldn't have shouted that. But by then it's too late. And then you apologize, but you risk having done something irreparable to the relationship or the situation, and also made yourself look kind of however you made yourself look, right? Depending on the situation. So it is saying like it's perfectly reasonable and normal to feel whatever it is you're going to be feeling. But the test, the challenge that you're being put to this week is to stop and think about what your response will be, if any. Your response could be to turn and walk right back out of the room, close the door behind you, and never look back. Yes, no panicking, no, allowing that. And I've learned that anger, rage, jealousy, those are the three that can really take over before we even know what's happening. And I do feel a lot of that in this reading. So I don't know what's going on there or what will go on, but please just keep your cool this week. We don't want to be bailing any of you guys out of jail. And just remember that, you're a spiritual being and you have the right to feel however you want. But what we don't have the right to do, even if we may think we should, is to put those feelings and emotions onto others because we weren't responsible. And then, that's not being responsible for them. Who's next?
Right. Vixen Doe.
Vixen Doe. I'm wondering why this thing is barely working. And I'm like, because I grabbed the wrong one. I've got two here and I'm using the wrong one. Okay, Vixen Doe. Let's go with the Seeker. Breathe, stretch, shake, and let it go. Remember they tried to make that a dance? Breathe, stretch, and let it go. And I'm like, who dances that way? I don't know. I mean, I guess no judgment, but it wasn't for me. All right. Miss lovely Vixen Doe. We're also missing Lara. We're missing a few, but I guess because, again, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vixen Doe being bullheaded could also be dealing with a Taurus, someone with a lot of Taurus energy, not just because there's the bull, but I did immediately think Taurus energy, Hierophant when I looked at this card. So disagreements can arise in any relationship. We all have to have an opinion. We all want to be heard. Unfortunately, there are times when opinions clash and friends or loved ones become foe. Things can go from bad to worse when one or both parties believe that their actions are 100% justified and in turn take an unyielding hardline stance that feels like a punishment. And I say this all the time, and it's something that I've very recently learned in my life because of all the damage that I caused with my reactions, is that when you can realize that the way someone behaves, even if it's towards you, has, their bad behavior has more to do with them than you. And that's when you learn grace. And that's something I've been trying to constantly remind myself in the past couple months or so. The warring parties withdraw their support. They give each other the cold shoulder. They refuse to discuss the matter or apologize because in their minds, they both believe that they are right and the other wrong. Like the Minotaur messenger, they choose to be bullheaded. However, there are times when we need to ask ourselves whether the end of a relationship is worth the price of being right. What do we truly stand to lose by being stubborn if we choose to insist that we are right for all the wrong reasons? Sometimes, unless the argument reveals an absence of respect or the core values are not shared, we need to yield and be open to compromise, Vixen Doe. We need to be mindful that sometimes both sides of an argument or dispute can have foundations of truth and integrity. Contradictory points of view can both be valid. Sometimes a concession needs to be made so peace and harmony can be maintained or restored. If love is more important than being right, you need to make a choice to dull those horns and meet somewhere in the middle. Don't let a wounded ego, pride, or stubbornness be the driving force behind your actions. This card is tricky in this reading because I'm not really getting that you're wrong. I feel like you're dealing with a person who's ruled by ego, pride, perhaps a narcissist. I mean, I'm not a clinician in any type of the word, but you could be dealing with someone with that energy. And even more so, I would say, even if you don't want to apologize, I mean, we can all see usually, whether we admit it or not, right, how we can all put ourselves in the other person's shoes at least a little bit. You can see, even if it's like, I can see that they're feeling that way because they're a total narcissist, that's still understanding why they feel the way they do. So we can all make that concession, right? We can all say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, and then move on. Now, when you're dealing with someone, the type of energy I'm getting that you're dealing with, there's usually a, well, you should be sorry, and here's why. And then they want to lecture you on why you should be sorry. I feel like you're just going to kind of have to deal with that this week. You don't have to by any means, but the universe is asking you to, because I feel like it lends to a greater cause. So like, you don't want to alienate this person just yet for some unforeseen reason. So try to put yourself in other people's shoes this week. Try to be very clear when you speak to loved ones so that nobody can claim to have misunderstood something you said. Okay, because I do see that. I see someone taking what you said, twisting it all around, and then running with it. And like, oh, Vixen Doe said it was okay. Like, I see that. Yeah, really try to see the other person's point of view. And again, make sure that you're very clear this week. You know, in the coming weeks, I don't know. But I know for this week, even when you know you're 100% right, and I'm not saying you think you're right, even when you know, Vixen Doe, that you're 100% right, who cares? Like, you know, right? You know that the other person's probably being an idiot and they don't know what they're talking about. But what does it really prove to argue? You know, it's like arguing in chat. Like, you don't even know the other, you know what I mean? It gets you, even if you win the argument, what have you really won? So yeah. I see something like that coming in for you this week, or already happening and maybe kind of peaking this week.
Ready? Jules is next. Jules Fawcett.
I see her. She's like, I'm ready.
Yeah, she's ready.
All right. I'm using Vintage Wisdom Oracle. You guys are so cute.
I sent your dragon today. You should get it Monday.
Okay, thank you. I can't wait. Thank you, Real Truth.
Real Truth.
I think this is the last week for the Christmas spiritual boxes and the Christmas scents, guys, because I don't know if they'll get there by Christmas if I mail them any later by like next Wednesday. So GemmaJadePowerNormal@gmail.com. There's crystals, there's incense, there's some of them will have jewelry. Definitely a 4-ounce spray, candles. I mean, all kinds of stuff I put in there. I try to put, I've got some nice dowsing rods. I've got some really nice necklaces. I've got some crystal, 10 milliliter crystal oil rollers in holiday scents. And I've got the oil diffuser, some oil diffuser necklaces. So keychains, lots of nice things that I'm putting in for the holidays. All right, Jules, you got the card of power. These cards aren't numbered, so I'm going to have to cover a piece of this one because YouTube's getting immature. So we'll just do it like that. No. Let you guys see it. This sovereign angel is queen of her domain. She knows who she is and where she's going. Behind her head, a halo crown in the form of a compass represents choice over many directions. Her mysterious dark wings point heavenward. A pair of cheetahs stand tamely at her feet. Cheetahs are associated with courage and the might of royalty, and like royalty, can inspire both awe and respect. The aura of protective golden light surrounding power proves she has earned the necessary wisdom to use the position of sovereignty responsibly and wisely. In today's world, we often measure our worth against the illusion of worldly status and mistake material gain for power. Many feel helpless and victimized by the chill of power's seemingly ruthless grip, but this can happen only if we choose to look outside of ourselves for the strength and wisdom we feel we lack. Authentic power, however, comes from within, and the ability to recognize and discern its core meaning can take many years, if not lifetimes. The presence of this triumphant card reminds you of your spiritual inheritance in sovereign self. Jules, you are bright. You are a bright, regal spark of the divine, independent, individual, and yet totally connected. Perhaps you are in the midst of a power struggle or need to reclaim control from a person or situation? Are you using your position of power wisely? Are you being called to stand firm in your power and have the courage of your convictions? Purposeful thoughts and deeds seeded from the fertile ground of truthfulness, honor, and respect carry authentic power and are among your strongest allies. When I was reading, perhaps you are in the midst of the need to reclaim control from a person or situation, I almost automatically read comfort. Okay, I've got to hold it this way, guys. Reclaiming comfort. And that stuck out for me. It was more than like a slip of the tongue. I feel like I hope that this has already happened, only so that we can move forward in dealing with it in your oracle reading, right? It's like someone took your whole, or is trying to take your whole sense of stability away, like your comfort. It's like someone's very angry with you. I'm not saying rightfully so or wrongfully so. I do feel like this is an overreaction to perhaps like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. A perceived slight. You can't see it, but the two middle ones are actually pink and black. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Somebody perceived that you either went on the attack against them, or, you said something cruel and now they're going to hurt you. Someone is out like to get you. I feel like what this is saying is, no need to invest in the drama, girl. Like, no need to put it all out there. No need to, expose them, because standing in your true power and stepping into your true power is going to be watching them squirm when they've heard nothing from you, because you can't be bothered with this juvenile high school drama that is playing out for them and being conducted by them. It's like this person so badly wants to pull you into this drama because they understand that you're on your way to bigger and better things, and possibly bigger and better people / relationships. Like, there is something so much bigger and better for you. And I see it like right here. And this person just wants to keep you here. And because you took a couple steps towards up here, they are mad. Like, you abandoned them, or you're ready to abandon them, or like, it's just a very odd way of thinking. I feel like this person is very new, meaning here, like as an incarnated soul. Like, I don't think they've done many lifetimes to really understand that behaving that way is just silly and useless and makes them look horrific. But, let them do them. Don't take your focus off of your birthright. And all of our birthrights, just by being human, being born, is abundance. In whatever way that we see ourselves abundant. Like, we have a right to it. It is ours. We own it. It's just getting to it. This person really wants to take you down a peg or two. This week is going to be your challenge. Are you going to let them? Are you going to get so angry and so tired of hearing all of these horrible things about yourself that you turn around and react? Or that you sit going over and over a proper response so you can look like you don't care? Or are you just simply going to say, you know what, that's their mess. Let them look like a fool and let it go. And that is a major lesson. Sometimes I pull these cards for you guys and I instinctively know, because of the way they're showing me the situation, that the decision you make in this situation specifically is going to either clear some karma, some lifetime, the karmic baggage, or add more. So this is a really important decision. If you already reacted, that's okay. This card wouldn't have come up after the reaction if there wasn't still a chance for you to now keep moving. Otherwise, it would be the consequences of the reaction. What it's still showing me is you have every chance here to make that the last reaction. And I think the universe really wants to see you succeed in this. I feel like this is lifetimes of dealing with the same thing over and over and over and over again, that the universe is like, oh, you're so close. Come on, one more chance. And your chance is going to be this week. I don't see this lasting anymore past like next Friday. If you mess it up, then you mess it up. And it's not really a mess up. You just have to learn some more, and then you're going to get the opportunity again. I mean, there's always going to be JO people who want to pull you into their mess. and you're always going to have a chance to respond in power. Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on an RV too. I'm looking at a couple now myself. If I'm going to travel back and forth from certain places.
I was just going to say, like, I don't even know what I'm doing about my doctor this month. And I'm like, he's got to move closer. Not just for that, but it's nice because when Steven comes to help, like bring me to my doctor or just comes to hang out with the family, we like having him here. And like by the end of the week, like he's ready to go home. I'm ready to be by myself. And then like a week later, we're like, why don't you live closer? You just come hang out, you know?
Mom miss me? Is that what it is?
She says it all the time. Oh, I miss my coffee buddy. You're very welcome. All you guys are very, very welcome. And Vixen Joe, that would be amazing. Please reach out and let me know, whether that be through text message or email. Also, Tracy Triton, if I don't get to see you, if you're listening, I did see your email come in. I believe I've messaged you my cell phone number for you to text me multiple times. If you didn't receive that email because people are having issues, let me know and I'll give it to you one more time. Or I'll reach out to you, because emailing me to see if I have time is going to take more time than like,
yeah.
Because I forget about emails because like, you know, orders haven't been coming in and I haven't really been getting as many as I usually do. So I kind of like forget about checking in the grand scheme of things, and I really should stop doing that. Who's next?
I'm going to let you say the new person. He's been in before, but would you say hi to him? Because I'm going to screw up their name.
That is Stella.
I'm sorry.
Miss Stella. So a few months ago, you asked me for a reading, and this was a while ago. I emailed it to you, and I saw that you didn't see it, like you didn't watch it, because I can see like if you guys ask me for a reading and then you don't watch it. So this may have been a miscommunication. So please email me and let me know if you received that reading. And if not, I'll give you one, because I remember you came in and you're like, how can I get a reading? And I'm like, I'm doing them for half price. So this must have been like September or October. And then when I sent it, I kept it for an extra month and you just didn't see it. So I don't know if I sent it to the wrong email address or if there's a better way to get them to you. Normally I text them to my clients. So I hope you're doing well. It's been a really long time. I'm doing okay. I'm learning a lot of lessons. Who's after Jules, hon?
Andrew, Mr. Andrew, the trucking man.
Andrew, let's use Urban Crow.
The trucking gnome. Do you have a big old gnome on the side of your truck with doing trucking? You remember the old trucking logo with the feet sticking out? I bet you do.
Still, it's not just your account, though, I don't think, because I was just talking to Jules about this. It happened with Aunt Edna as well, and I think Brown Dwarf. A few people, like, I can show that I emailed them in a couple cases, and they're like, I didn't get it. I don't know, you know, what happened there, because it'll be a response to their email. So I'll be like, okay, I have the right email because I'm just responding. So it could be yours too, but there's definitely something wrong with mine. I'm going to have to contact Google because I cannot have things going wrong with my professional email. But I'll do another one for you. No problem. I only have Jules to do besides my patrons this month and my donation people. All right, Andrew. So I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to talk about it in here because I could get in trouble if we get into too much detail. But there's something going on with Ohio State and Channeling Eric, the channel I talk about all the time. They are, what is it called? They're not channeling the higher selves, but they're mind sweeping. Like
that
the police,
familiar.
the police, the killer, and I believe they're also channeling the victims. And it was really interesting. I was trying to listen to it while I set up, but I ended up getting into an argument with Amazon, so I wasn't able to do that. And when I say argument, it's not even really like an argument, but I always feel like I'm being rude because I just want to cut to the chase. Because no matter what I say, they're like, I'm so sorry you had this horrible experience. I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I'm like, I just asked for a question. I asked you a question. Like, it wasn't even like, I'm like, can you please just stop spewing generic pre-programmed responses at me and just answer my question. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Kelly. I'm like, you're doing it again.
It's funny because I did that to something I'd ordered. I did that to them, and I got hung up the phone, and I'm like, I feel like Cindy. I'm proud of myself.
I'm Gemma, but thanks. And that's to me an argument with Amazon. It's just me asking them to cut to the chase because I don't have all day. But they don't understand that. So
yeah, they don't. Sorry, Gemma.
That's okay. I think most people in here know my first name. I just don't like to always put it out there, especially on top of I just almost said my last name as well. So, Andrew, self-interest, card number 45. I regularly have 4 neighborhood crow visitors. There is one crow that seems a bit more selfish when it comes to the food I put out. While the other crows take their turns grabbing a nugget or 2 of the dog food I leave out on a plate, there is one that will shove as much in its mouth as possible, not caring if there isn't a single crumb left for the others. Self-interest indicates that you may be looking out for only yourself, and as a result, others will be impacted. On the flip side, be aware of the actions taken by those around you, as someone may try to come in and take more than their fair share. Being selfish isn't always bad. Sometimes we need to focus on our own wants and needs depending on the situation. Self-interest may indicate that you're in need of some pampering or that it is time to put your needs above others. For example, your dream job may require a move or a shift in lifestyle, but you may need to weigh the impact taking this job will have on those around you. In the short term, you may be perceived as selfish, but in the long term, your decisions may benefit all those involved. Andrew, I don't remember specifically what deck I use every single week for every single person. I don't remember every single message, but there are certain people, and it comes up for everybody every once in a while, where I just see like messages that keep coming in. It's like the same one. There's our Aunt Edna. Hey, girl. And I do feel like there is somebody around you who is just hating on your success. And I just keep seeing this person every little chance they get. I think kind of like what I said to Jules and on a smaller scale, Vixen Doe, like they're just like running your name through the mud. They're trying to discredit you every chance they get. Like, who is this? Like, do you have any idea who this is? Because if you don't know who it is, even if you have an inkling, please address this. In other readings, it was like you need to, not react and walk away. And I definitely am not advising you, Spirit, the universe, not advising you to react, but just maybe a response. Do you know what I mean? Or even a slight confrontation with the person. Like, hey, I don't know what this is between us here, but I'm getting the feeling that, if I were drowning, you'd throw me a cinder block. I'm just seeing this person. And it's been for a while now, like since you got your promotion, since you've been coming in, you've been pretty happy. I remember a while back, you were like, this is good. And we were also happy for you. But there's one person in your life, in your close circle, who is not. And they may be smiling in your face and they may be like, yeah, bro, yes, that's so awesome. And then they go and tell your boss that like, while you're long haul trucking, you're like the smiley face murderer. You know what I mean? Like, this person, it's not that they think poorly of you. In fact, they're very jealous of you. So there's this very jealous energy attached to yours. And you definitely need to figure out who this person is, which should be very easy, because if Spirit is bringing you this card, that means they're willing to turn you on to who this person is. Okay. If you even have an inkling, more than likely that's who it is. If you have an inkling it's more than one person, I would get to the bottom of it, because I am only seeing one. I'm seeing everyone else look at this person like, Andrew, are you kidding me? Like not understanding where this person's coming from, which is making them dislike you even more because everyone else is sticking up for you. I have a person like this in my family, and I've just decided, like, I'm cordial, I'm nice. I love this person, to pieces, but I refuse to engage. That might be what you have to do. Like, keep your side of the street clean in all areas of your life. We should always be striving to do that, but especially with anyone that you feel a weird disconnect, or, you walk into a room and this person all of a sudden stops talking and looks at you, like that type of person. There's someone very shady around you, and they're just mean. They're just plain mean.
So watch your back.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say that, because while it gets annoying, it seems that they're not having any effect on your life.
Well, that's good then.
You know, like if they're going to your boss is more likely to fire them than you because they're acting like a child. Like, I don't see it affecting the people around you. Eventually it might though. So that's kind of why you do have to nip this in the bud and kind of figure out who and what this is. But the only effect they're having is on themselves, making themselves look bad. This person could have like an alcohol addiction, a drug addiction. There could be some sort of something like that going on. Maybe a borderline personality you're dealing with. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know if you are, but it just could just be someone that you already know. It's like, oh, that's crazy Uncle Ted, you know, but now crazy Uncle Ted is getting involved in your personal life and like telling your girlfriend of 7 years you're cheating, things like that, you know? So we want to keep the great Uncle Teds at a distance. We don't need to cut them off their family, and we care about them, and especially around the holidays. But we do want to put great Uncle Ted in his place, tell him we know what he's doing, we know what he's about, and kind of, you know, share a drink with him. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, Madison's next.
Wait a minute. That was good. You put that up there. Blue Crossroads, you are so right. And thank you, as always. Helpful.
That's why I stuck it up there.
If you put Gemma's email in your contact list, it will at least eliminate the possibility of her emails going into your trash or spam file, just in case that's what's happening. And that's true, because that could happen. Sometimes it could be a perfectly normal email, but it just somehow, like, something glitches out and it ends up that way. Madison.
1 second, Gemma. Lightworker, if you're leaving, we can fit you in real quick.
Who?
After Lightworker. I was going to have her fit in after Madison, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If she can hang around, definitely. And anyone else that has to leave early, you can always let us know. Like I said last week, as long as it's not like an every single week thing, we don't ever mind doing that for you guys. All right, Madison, I'm using the Mythical Goddess. And yeah, Lightworker, if you would like to hang out while I do this reading, I will pull one for you next. Otherwise, I hope you'll come back in. We usually do this Wednesday nights, and then Monday and Thursday nights from 8 to 10 Eastern, we have live content. I no longer put out pre-recorded content videos.
She's no longer a robot. You didn't hear that, did you? I said you were no longer a robot.
I heard it, but I didn't understand it.
I said you're no longer a robot.
I know. Why? When was I a robot?
Well, I know a lot of commentators, people do videos say after a while they start feeling like a robot.
Oh, I just felt like for all the work I was putting in, the live streams were getting triple the amount of views. And while it's not only about views, we have fun in the live streams. So
yeah.
I do ask people if they could try to get here by 10:30 p.m., especially if they're in any kind of hurry. So to come in at 10:30 and be like, I need to be read right now because I'm like, every once in a while I can see how that could happen. You forget, or you had a long day, but yeah, if it happens too often, I usually tell Ghostdragons to ignore them, and then not to be mean, but because some people do sit here and wait for a reading and we hang out, but some people come in and they have to wait an hour for their reading and they wait. So, oh, awesome. Thank you, Jules. Okay, let me get Madison done so I can get Lightworker done so that she can go.
Okay.
The only time I really get upset is like if I'm running a little late and I see people in the chat. It's not really you guys. It's usually the newer people or the same people every time that like complain that I'm running late. It's like I'm only human. All right, Madison, you got Lilith. It's card number 4, and it is the card of power. And again, let me just hold her this way because she is all kinds of naked. Lilith is the goddess of wanton sexual power who can never be overtaken or manipulated. Originally an ancient Sumerian goddess, she later was morphed by the Hebrews into the first female on earth. Unwilling to be subservient to Adam, Lilith not only left him, but used her wiles to trick God into giving her wings so that she was able to fly far away from Eden into the desert. She brought agriculture to the people and is the protector of children and women in childbirth. Beautiful Lilith flies above the shackles of this world on her wings of freedom. Her taloned feet are her foundation of wildness and power. Lilith's fierily independent Aries spirit is without compromise, insisting through her very nature that women are beings of equality answerable to no one. She is sexual freedom and expression, a leader who empowers others. Lilith teaches you to trust your own core power, take the lead in your own life, and go for it. In the full expression of your sexual energy and unbridled power of authority, you show uncompromising loyalty to your inner passion. Your own authenticity is at issue. This is the time to let loose the strength of your desire and focus on your goals to take you where you deserve to be. Letting someone else run your show, Madison, letting someone else run your life, right? Fear of confrontation. I tell you guys all the time, in a confrontation, I would much rather literally lay on my back and pretend to be a dead turtle than have a confrontation. And that has not served me well for most of my life because I've been a doormat, and that's not woe is me. It's lessons I had to learn. I feel like these are lessons you have to learn too. It's never like, it's okay. It's never not okay to stand up for yourself. That's like if you're being attacked, you just lay there and let the attacker attack you because you're afraid of physically hurting them. Like that doesn't make sense because like someone's attacking you. It's the same thing when someone's attacking your spirit. When someone's attacking your goals and your dreams and your ambitions. And I do feel like there's like Miss Stella, good night. And I'm sorry if you had told me from the beginning, I would have read for you right away. I feel like somebody's also attacking your, this person's a real jerk. They're like, oh, like you want to get too, say you're in a romantic relationship and you live with the person and the person's out of work. So you guys have bills to pay. So instead of the one job, you're like, hey, I need to get another job. You can't find work right now. And I want to make sure that we don't get put out of our place. And the guy's like, no way are you getting a second job. I won't have a woman supporting me. Like that's what I'm hearing in my head coming from this person. And this may not be what the person's saying to you, and it may not be the exact dynamic, but there's an energy of this going on in your life. If it's something you've already gotten out of, I believe the universe is saying to make sure you stay out of it. Don't get back into other relationships like this where people take your power from you. I feel like I'm seeing you just starting to get your power back. So now may not be the time to be sharing that power with anybody. Build up what you have, build up who you are, build up a sense of self before giving anything, even energetically, away to someone else. Because if you don't have enough for you, then how are you going to have enough to give? And I feel like that's what the message is here. And also, whoever this person is, I mean, I wouldn't even, it's just gross energy.
Hello, Jessica S.
Hi, Jessica. So light worker?
Yes.
Madison, yeah, I think most people in this community are like that. But when you get pushed to a certain point, like with me, it usually takes a few years for that to happen. And then once you go off the rails, you go. And I feel like our lessons are to just not let ourselves get off the rails that way by nipping the problem in the bud in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Then we would be more justified. Yeah. Eris, that definitely is what it is with me, for sure. But I'm aware now that it exists, and I do try to express myself properly with everyone. You know, I have a rule that I use now that I didn't always follow and ended up very hurt because of it, where if I won't say it out loud to my boss who can fire me, I will not say it out loud to a loved one. We should not be treating the acquaintances in our lives, even if they're responsible for giving us a check every week, better and being more considerate to the people that we live right in the same house with. Full moon in Cancer, light worker, let your fears dissolve. Fear and neediness may now be at play. Fear is debilitating while neediness isn't usually very attractive. Acting out of fear is a risky response. So if you dwell on your insecurities, what you'll manifest is an extension of those insecurities. The reason why we should face our fears is that in doing so, they often simply dissolve. If we don't face them, they can influence us to act in ways we otherwise wouldn't, which means we can end up manifesting the very thing we were hoping to avoid. To see off the fear that's inside of you, face it right now. Find a balance between Cancer's oversensitivity and Capricorn's coolness. Facing your fears and working out where they came from will point you in the right direction and get you into the right mindset. Your manifestation affirmation for this week: I completely love and accept myself as I am. Okay, so I'm getting another message here that is kind of the same. And I have the same problem. I tend to wear my emotions on my face. It's kind of the same as one I just gave out, where I feel like you're going through these fears. You're slowly but surely overcoming a lot of things in your life, obstacles, mainly because of fear-based reactions and responses, okay? And you're like, forget this, I really want to be a nurse, right? This is just an example. So you finally start going to school and you're a year into school and you're almost there. You've got, 6 months left and you're so proud. And then here comes this person like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're a nurse. Don't you have this weird thing with blood? Or aren't you afraid of needles? And they put this seed of fear, even if it's unintentional, in your head. So now the next time you go to draw blood from someone, you're like, oh man. It's like the message I'm getting here for you, light worker, is remembering whatever comes up this week specifically, and especially remembering that you already faced whatever this fear is, whether you see it or not. And I think that's your kind of goal for this week. Your message, your lesson for this week is understanding what the fear is that's coming in here, because I do feel like it's a big one. And it's going, not that it's a big fear, but that it's going to cause you to take a step back from someone or something that is detrimental right now in your life. And understanding that you've already dealt with this fear, you've already worked through it, and kind of identifying who or what made it come back to life and handling the issue from that end. So again, you would, maybe don't talk to that person for the next 6 months until you finish your degree and actually become a nurse, because maybe they're a little insensitive, right? And I do feel like a lot of this has to do with someone who is simply just an insensitive person. They're so used to saying what's on their mind, no filter, and they're so used to you dealing with that. It's time to not deal with that. Call people out on their BS this week in a nice way. You can approach everything with kindness and love, and if you can't, you should walk away. So obviously your message is not to walk away. Your message is to confront them with kindness and love. Like, hey, why do you always have to see the worst in things? How come every time you open your mouth about what I'm wearing, it's to criticize and never to compliment? Things like that.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to give you the next two, and I'm going to run to the little boy's room.
Okay.
Richard Elmore and Salvador Soto are your next two, if you can remember that. I shouldn't be gone.
I'm sorry, you said
Richard Elmore.
Richard Elmore and Salvador?
Yes, are your next two. I shouldn't be
gone.
gone.
Heather? Madison? Me too, actually. And I've recently been getting judged on that, and that's hurtful. Not my past, but my confidence. And it was something that was really hard won for me to have confidence in what I'm doing and in my life. And, it was hurtful because it came from someone that I really trusted and thought would be supportive of me coming into my own and finally, finding what I wanted to do in life and finding my path and my place. But they just didn't get it. And I was starting to feel really bad about my achievements, my goals, my confidence. And unfortunately, sometimes people that, we're energetically connected to, like twin flame soulmates, that could be their reason for being in our lives in this lifetime. So watch out for people like that. Okay, Salvador Soto, you're next, but first, Richard Elmore. Richard, are you still here? Ufologist, I do too. And that's another thing that I'm working through. Lightworker, thank you. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for coming in. I hope to see you again. And I think I've told you this before. You can email me, if you have any questions about a channel, maybe. All right, Richard, I'm using Shadows and Light. Salvatore, for you, we are going to use the Vampire Oracle. Jessica S., I don't know if I said hello to you. I don't remember saying hello, so. All right, Richard. Dried Flower Fairy. Sweet memories. Card number 11. 11 is a good number. We know that's a great angelic number. Excuse me. All right. This darling little fairy just loves to collect memories and to treasure them, wearing them as garlands, their sweet faded fragrance reminding her of happier times. She helps you by collecting all of your happy, sweet memories and keeping them from fading too. She has wings that resemble the wonderful monarch butterfly, which is renowned for the vast distances it can travel. So these memories may be of very long ago, down through the ages, but they are still able to fly to you and reach you with their messages of love and sweetness wherever you currently find yourself. When you experience a difficult and challenging time, the dried flower fairy flies to your side, shows you a moment that you've forgotten, and magically the present moment transforms. You will always have her with you, most especially in the times when those sweet moments seem farthest away. The dried flower fairy speaks. Do you remember that time when you played with the fairies in the garden? Do you remember when your imaginary friend was more real than your own two parents? What about the first time you ever noticed your shadow quivering in the light? Swam into the sparkling sea, held hands or exchanged glances with someone you liked more than just friends. When you were given a gift for no reason, hugged by a friend, had a perfect day, found messages from angels in the clouds. You seem to have forgotten all the precious moments, so I've been busy gathering them up for you. I now return them to you, so your sadness can be transformed. Let happiness, bliss, and gifts for no reason become possibilities you believe in again. When I see you smile and treasure a moment from the past in the present, I know my work has been done. Divination message. You may soon be experiencing little reminders of some of the sweetest, most fun and uplifting times in your life. Richard, the kind that have no great significance historically, but in the story that is your life, they are pivotal moments. Night, night, Jules. Thank you for your donation. It could be seeing a rainbow, a star shining bright, or a photograph of your father holding you closely in his arms, or receiving the knowledge and sudden realization that something you did made a large and meaningful difference to someone else's life. You have so many, Jules. It's time to sift through the precious moments in inventory, and by honoring these and feeling them once again, change the present moment for the better. The magic of your sweetest memories will be worked into the present moment, and your current struggle will be momentarily relieved, and the transcendent feeling of being one with all that is will return, giving you the strength to go on and do what must be done. Okay, so definitely and obviously, what's up, Melissa Nicole? A feeling of nostalgia coming in for you this week. And that's very common this time of year if you celebrate any kind of holiday, because it's the holiday times for a lot of us, right? I love Christmas, and I actually, even more so since I had RJ. But I'm feeling this sense of nostalgia for you, Richard. I feel like you're either missing someone who's no longer with you. I feel like someone you were very close with who you lost, even if it was years ago. This person was a soulmate. So someone meant to be in your life for a specific amount of time for a specific reason throughout lifetimes. Not necessarily romantic, though. Paranormal Pixie, give me a second, honey. They're trying to get a message across to you. They're showing you either in daydreams, actual dreams, just found photographs lying around, that they're there with you through this trying time, that they're reaching out to you, not to warn you of anything. It's not anything sinister, but they want you to know that they're okay and that you should be okay too. You can call on this person if you know who it is. And I would just pay very close attention to your dreams. I don't feel any kind of real significant message for you this week of something that you may be dealing with, aside from maybe some sadness in missing somebody. Now, if you're missing someone who's alive, who's still here on this plane, I do still feel this spirit energy reaching out, kind of pushing you towards this person. So unless it's dangerous to you, unless it's going to really cause you some kind of problem, I would reach out to the person or people you're missing this week. I feel like something really good is going to come from this. And I don't mean good like, this great happy feeling. I feel like there's something beneficial to be had by reaching out to someone that may no longer be in your life for whatever reason this week. And if you're thinking about a special someone who's no longer with us here, know that they're with you in spirit, and they're going to be giving you a lot of little signs this week where you're like, that's weird. That makes me think of so-and-so. And that so-and-so is right with you, just smiling, going, yeah, of course it does. I'm right here. Duh. Salvatore, let's do vampire. That was such a cute little message. I don't normally get such like whimsical messages from spirit. So when they do come up, I'm always happy to share them. Lara, I'm going to read for you after Salvatore, because I know you aren't feeling well, and you don't ever come in and just get a reading and leave. So we got you covered, honey. You're listening with both ears on.
Mine fell off the other day. I had to super glue it.
Let's send Paranormal Pixie Miss Lara some love and light and healing.
And I can use it some too. They're both going through some.
And I did not see that, and I am sorry. Mike Roberts, if you end up listening, I'm very sorry. He had messaged me yesterday, and I was somewhere where I could not reach back out. So I was like, I'll reach back out to you later. But I was up at 4 a.m. and what I was doing took like 14 hours. So I was really tired. That's why we didn't have Oracle. So Mike, if you're listening, and I just remembered, I will reach out to you. I hope everything is okay. I didn't forget you. I just, give me one sec, guys. Just checking something. I just was tired, and I literally slept all night last night. Where is it? Because I want to show you guys something real fast. I showed you guys the other night my quartz, my ghost quartz wand, and I got a lanite wand. I'm sorry, Salvatore, just give me 1 second. So this is lanite. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. It's like a rhyolite. And I also have a lanite heart that I carry on me. I think I showed this to you guys. So this is the type of thing you'd find in the holiday box. Things like that. But lanite, I was very drawn and attracted to it. I'd never heard of it before. And I woke up one morning thinking ranite. It's actually the Caesara stone. It connects us to higher realms. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit after I read for Salvatore and Miss Pixie. Richard, if the person is still here, as in still living, reach out. Again, unless it's going to be, detrimental for you to do so. And if they're not still here and they passed on, and I'm going to tell you all about it. It's really amazing. And there's another one too. Maybe at the end, I'll go through a couple of my new ones. If they're not here, know that they are, and look out for signs from them this week of them saying, "Hey, I'm here," and everything's okay. Also, call on them when you're feeling lonely and upset. Anybody who is from, anyone who are missing, who's moved on, who's passed on, we should always be calling to them, letting them know that they're thought of. I'm sorry, guys. I completely forgot about this one from Miss Lotus Girl. Diamond cut pure lapis. Yeah, baby. I know you guys would absolutely love that. There are so many. Just if I were able to turn my laptop around without knocking them all down, you guys would be amazed at my crystal collection. And I always just take a bunch and throw them into the boxes. I really do have a gorgeous collection. Okay, Salvatore, you got the card of knowledge. It's card number 3 in the vampire deck, and it's study, learning, and education. There she is. Yes, it's gorgeous, as are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other giant pieces you've sent me throughout the years, and the smaller ones too. I love them all. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a lifetime likely to stretch for 1,000 years or more to learn and to study and to discover? For this is what we vampires have, an eternity to study knowledge, the best our kind The best of our kind take this miraculous opportunity to study, learn, and develop wisdom. And with this card, we can see that knowledge now seeks you. Just to be clear, a lot of you have also sent me smaller stones that I've absolutely loved too. Those I put in a little packet, depending how I'm feeling, and carry with me. So don't think I'm not discounting anyone's gifts because I love them all. Just being thought of like blows my mind. Like you guys send me so much stuff and I'm like, really, me? And with this card, we can see that knowledge now seeks you, Salvatore. Ask yourself, what do you wish to learn? We can share what we study. When we learn, it is to fulfill our need to understand what is left of our human selves. We wish to reach a greater depth of understanding about the sensual life we once lived, the cold we felt, the way in which humanity has developed, your medicine, your technology, while your nature and a part of ours is left untouched, still totally primal. It is time to step beyond being entertained by the trivial sideshow of mainstream television entertainment, to cease sleepwalking through your own life and become aware of the decreasing span of your precious mortal days. Ask yourself what it is you wish to learn: a language, to paint, to think and think well, to use your gift of the human mind. Perhaps medicine, herbalism, and other helpful sciences attract you. It is time, we say then, to know you have greater capacity to study and learn. It is time to read, explore, and learn more. Live and die and experience all you wish to through the treasure of story and the treasury of knowledge that are books. Your blessing: know you are being called to become a student again, a true student, and follow in the long line of brilliant ones who learn so much and then pass the knowledge on again. Books will figure greatly, as will reading, research, and note-taking. There may even be lectures at which you could spy on one of your undead friends, radiating happiness that you are finally stepping into the full brilliance of your beautiful intelligence. You may feel that you are tired of study, or that this is the curse, or that you are too something, too old, too busy, too short of money to open the books of the knowledge and learn. But the library of world's wisdom is now being opened to you, and you would do well to have a disciplined approach. Working with this card, who will be divinely guided to find the right course to study and the best books for you to read at this time. You are always learning, and this is what makes you so wise. Okay, so Salvatore, this could definitely be about something like learning a language, learning about other cultures, but I'm specifically getting learning more about spirituality and spiritual alignment. And the reason that's coming in is because I feel like you've already been either researching into things like this or getting something with extraterrestrials. I don't know if this is something you've already started studying or if the urge is going to strike. There's just this knowledge or this thirst for knowledge inside of you for where maybe you came from, or what this is all about, or longing for other, looking up in the sky and just, oh my gosh, staring. I'm sorry, I saw a shadow person like high up in the air just now, and it really caught me off guard. Staring up at the sky and thinking about what's out there. There is somebody or I'm sorry, give me a second, guys. I have to pull my energy back. There is some type of energy or entity that's reaching out to you now to connect with you, some sort of star ancestor. And I know this may sound like a really weird message, especially if you have like no interest in extraterrestrials or you have no knowledge about anything of them. I think you should start researching things like that. Whatever specifically you're going to need to know, you're going to be pushed this week in the direction of finding out about it, of gaining more knowledge of it. And I believe this has to do with something otherworldly, extraterrestrial, or something as simple as, you know, your spirituality, things like that. Miss Lara. I'm going to use the vampire again. I've got my little cat and owl statues. I didn't get all of my owls back yet. I've got my angel candle from Miss Lara. I didn't light her yet. She smells really good. I've got all these like little goblets, little altar bells, little angel crystal statues. And again, those are all things that I, throw into the spiritual helper and holiday boxes. Pieces of jewelry, bracelets, keychains, sometimes necklaces, earrings, lava bracelets. I just have so much stuff that I throw in those things. Sometimes I'll put statues, fairy statues, gnome statues, kitty statues. All right, Lara. Okay, this one fell out. This is the card of hope. It's crazy because I did the Vampire Deck 7 card reading for myself the other night, and both of these cards came out, and you guys saw me shuffling. So card number 43, hope, anticipation, bright prospects, and wish. Come on. This little creature, this small one, a vampire with a heart and soul, is surrounded by death, by endings, by sadness, by the void, and by those who have left her. Like you, she is facing the darkness within others and within life, and she feels utterly alone. But what she has with her is the ability to hope, and she chooses this. It is not something that is always easy, but she has lit a candle in the deep darkness upon a heap of skulls and nothing else, and she has struck a light and held the light up. She is quietly defiant in the face of death, of change, of silence, of loneliness, of criticism, and of a great dilemma. If this card finds you at this time, you are being asked to rise above those who are giving in to hopelessness and negativity. It does not ask you to be falsely hopeful or to put on a happy face and refuse to face whatever must be faced. It asks you to be hopeful. You do not yet know the outcome. You do not yet know what will next happen, but what you can be assured of is that this hope that you have the capacity to create will sustain you in a time of great difficulty. Keep it strong, quiet, even small. Face what you must face, do what must be done, and know that, yes, the situation is very difficult, Lara. No doubt about it at all. But we vampires ask you to know that one of the most beautiful and life-affirming things any of us can do is refuse to give in. And not only that, to do what must be done and do it with hope. That light will attract help, intervention, assistance, and our admiration and respect, which in turn will deliver more assistance. You know there is some optimism you can create. You know you are a bearer of the torch, of the light in this particular circumstance. And you know this hope will warm, inspire, and nurture others. Lighten up the world you are within, Lara. Strike the light and watch the shadows and dangers recede to the corners. Keep that flame burning. Your blessing, your ability to create possibilities in a seemingly hopeless and difficult situation brings out the best in others, which has a strong ripple effect. You have manifested change through this hopefulness. The curse, without hope, we lose heart. If hope feels futile for you, know that the act of hoping, of choosing to believe there are still reasons to look forward with optimism, will create a more positive outcome than you are looking at in the present moment. Working with this card, you will soon have hope, which will make whatever is taking place at this moment easier to bear. This hardship is impermanent, and tomorrow will be better. So, Lara, you definitely are the light, okay? The way that I've managed to learn how to do this, and this is just for me, but I'm being moved to share it with you right now, is no matter what, even when I was a few months ago crying my eyes out and I couldn't stop, but I would look up, and when one of my older kids or my mom would say, "Hey, are you okay?" I would say, "I'm fine," because the universe cannot be doing this to me. The universe has to be doing this for me. And then I would repeat that in my head over and over again. And at first it sounded really stupid. It sounded unbelievable. It sounded impossible. And I was angry. The more I repeated it, though, the more optimistic I became. And I was like, yeah, there's no way that all of this is happening as a punishment because I've done nothing wrong. I do my, not that I've done nothing wrong, but I do my very best to make the right decisions, to bring hope to others, to inspire others. I do my very best to follow my spiritual path, even though I'm still learning exactly what it is. And I feel like this thing that I've learned recently could really benefit you right now. And I'm sure you know this, the more you tell yourself something, the more you see it manifest. And that's positive and negative. So whatever this is that you're going through, I feel like this week, the universe is offering you a lot more assistance than usual without you having to ask. Like if we ask, we're given it. But I think this week, hope is just going to come in. I feel like you should really look for the opportunities to improve and or better the situation and yourself while in the situation. And I feel like this is going to be over, just like the dark nights of the soul for so many of us in this community, so many of us light workers, fairly quickly. I mean, I'm talking mid-January, early February. We should all be out of our dark nights of the soul at the very latest, the first week of March. And Paranormal Pixie, that is a very good way to manifest hope. Ghost Dragons, thank you so much. I love you, love you. Lara, hang in there. If you need to talk, I'm here. I have been very disorganized, unmotivated lately, but I'm coming back in to myself. I think I needed to shift my own perspective too, and to understand that everything that was happening for me and not to me. Ghost Dragons, thank you so much, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Good night, Blue Crossroads.
Good night, Blue Crossroads. Took the words right out of my mouth. Blue Crossroads, I did that yesterday. Paranormal Pixie, when's your birthday again? Are you a Pisces or am I, or why do I think Pisces when I, who's next?
Nut slap. Mike, how you doing? We were just talking about you.
What he said. I'm so sorry I forgot to message you back yesterday. I was dealing with all that from 4 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. and I was beat, which is why we didn't have Intuitive Oracle. But feel free to text me tonight or tomorrow during the day is probably better. RJ will be with me this weekend. I'm sorry, who's next?
Nut slap. And her birthday's the 28th of this month.
I saw that.
Okay, I didn't know.
I don't know why I had Pisces in my head for you. Nutslap, I'm going to use the new one, Urban Crow. Nutslap, I think, is working, so I don't know if he can answer. Can you take a timestamp for him just in case, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Mike, I'm so happy to see you. I miss chatting with you, but I know you're going through a really hard time. Slow motion, a late hello to you. It hasn't been a busy night, so. Oh! Almost lost this deck.
Hello, Slomo.
All right. Nut slap. You got the card of preparation. Card number 37. Here in the Seattle area, we have lots of fairies, and these smart birds have mastered the fairy schedule. The crows know when the boat will return and on which side of the road the cars will disembark. While the ferry is crossing the sound, the birds harvest the clams from the nearby beach. They bring the clams over to the ferry landing and strategically place the clams just right so that when the cars leave the boat, they run over the shells, breaking them apart and leaving fresh clam meat for the picking. Preparation speaks to getting ready for something you know is on the horizon and planning for it accordingly. It's about getting all your ducks in a row, or in this case, clams, so that you achieve the most beneficial outcome. Lara, thank you so much. Thank you, really. I do appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Nutslap, and get well, please. We have this connected energy that I try to protect you from, especially lately with what I'm going through, but I do feel a dimness about you, I guess, from being sick and maybe some other things. So I will try my best when I meditate later with the Oculus to make you one of the people I zoom the light over to, okay? Because I love you, girl. Okay. Nutslap, I feel like there is definitely something that you need to be prepared for. I don't know yet, though, if you know that whatever this is coming. So what I'm going to suggest, the universe is suggesting here, is that you prepare yourself for the best possible outcome in everything that you set out to do. So how do you do that? By being hopeful, like we just talked about with Lara, right? by gaining as much knowledge of the situations going on in your life as you can, and see what you want most out of life. What is it you're trying to achieve? What is it you're trying to accomplish? If money and time were no issue, where would you be right now? What would you be doing? How would you be contributing to the collective? Or would you be? Where would you be living? Who would you be with? Think about all these things and then prepare as best you can to achieve these things. You're not going to achieve every single one, especially if it's with a person. Free will is always involved. It's about a certain job. Unfortunately, money, time, and free will are constraints, but act as if they're not. Okay. You definitely are going to need to be prepared for some offer that's coming in. And I don't really see it coming in this week. I'd say by the end of the month, after Christmas towards New Year's. But I think that you could kind of see it coming starting this week. And you're like, okay, this is going to be awesome. Act as if whatever this is has already been offered to you. Okay. Act as if, you've already been offered the job of your dreams. Make plans to move if it's across the country. Do things like that. Be adamant with the universe that this is yours and nobody else's. Okay. And see what the universe has to offer. The universe is open to helping with your preparations. Vixen Doe, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. And good luck. I will be praying for you. With your RV, because that is super exciting. And one day that is going to be something that I'm doing. So all of you guys are really awesome. I'm so proud of this group. And that's why I decided to bring content live. So I just want to show you guys a couple things. We'll take a tiny little break so I can show these to you. So this is Lanite, Lanite. Okay. It's just like the heart that I showed you. And I don't have the meaning down pat yet because I'm just learning. I have at least 1,000 different types of crystals here. So this is a great stone for soothing and calming emotions. Its loud vibrations can ease even the most violent outbursts. Because of this, Lanite is the perfect stone for those who get episodes of rage, panic attacks, and episodes of depression. When I started thinking of this stone randomly and out of nowhere, I realized that was one of the reasons that I need it. Another additional effect it has on depression is that it helps us to see light amongst the darkness. It helps you discover the light within you. So when I wear the heart on me, on my heart, touching my skin, I do feel this compassion overcome me, even for people that I'm seriously angry at, mad at. And then this is the low light, which I just find it absolutely beautiful. It's just a plain blue. Let me look at what I'm showing y'all. Just like a really nice, they call this one a little piece of night sky. And guys, I'll be right back to readings in like a minute. There are just a couple pieces here being kind of drawn to show you. And low light, Lolite, recovering balance, suffering from disorientation, lack of motivation, chronic disorganization, and distraction. It strengthens your resolve to take on responsibilities and carry them through, provides self-assurance and endurance in adverse situations. Source of energy when used for the elimination of debt and responsible management of money. Low light restores a sense of perspective to those who feel they are jinxed and inspires anyone with a chaotic life to start to bring order in small practical ways. I got this for the mantle in my other house. And I've got the labradorite, which I love.
Do you have any rose?
Rose quartz?
Yeah.
I don't have any super large pieces, but I have a ton of chunks.
Okay.
I have a lot of milky quartz. So I'll just show you guys my big ones quick. So this is the celestite. And this one's a cracked open geode, which I keep that very, that's stored like in a very secure place because I don't want it to open anymore. This was a gift, blue apatite, from someone who did a manifestation and meditation session with me. Here is Rainbow Moonstone. And then I have brutalized quartz. So it's like 3 or 4 different kinds. I don't remember exactly what this one's for, but it's really powerful. I could feel it vibrating when I touch it. This is the rhodochrosite. And then I love this one, and it's cool because a lot of them I have the tumbled and the raw. So this is Dragon Septarian.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was looking them all over when I was sitting there. I was like, wow, there's some cool stones here.
This is the rhodonite, which is like rhodochrosite. Yeah. Just really beautiful pieces. Most of them gifts. Kyanite.
I like that color too.
Dragon's Blood Jasper. And then 2 more, and then we'll get back to business. I've got this black obsidian. This is my scrying ball, my crystal ball, so to speak. They're all on beautiful stands too. And then I have the peacock obsidian, or it's also called sheen obsidian, rainbow obsidian. That was a gift from Be Kind. And I have all these little selenite hearts. I have peach selenite, and they're all for the boxes. Okay, who's next? I just wanted to show you guys that, maybe inspire you to go out and grab some crystals. You can look up the metaphysical properties of any crystals that you want to. You know, you can, something pops into your head, or research crystals for A, B, and C. Clear quartz is really good for anything. It's an amplifier. So whatever stone you stick it next to is going to amplify that stone. And of course, I have a ton of them, but they're still on the mantle back at the house. All right, let's do this. Let's get back.
Dargo.
Dargo. All right. Dargo. You know what? I'm going to use Night Fairies for Mr. Dargo here. All right. I didn't mean to be all leaning in the camera like that, guys.
You got them all excited.
I'm so sorry. That was not my intention. I was trying to just show you guys crystals. Nutslap, you are always welcome. You know that. I love you guys very much. And I take what I do in the messages I bring to you guys very seriously. You know, I don't take this task lightly. I try to keep it light and, you know, airy, so to speak, but I do take my job very seriously. So, all right. Yeah, Night Fairies. I've had this one maybe for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, didn't you just get that not too long ago?
About 3 weeks, yeah. This stone is called a 7-something stone. It's got 7 different crystals melded together. Love that one. I don't know where that. You know what it is too? I buy I'll buy like 3 pounds of tumbled stones for $22, and I get like giant chunks of like, you know, blue apatite and you know, rose quartz and even olive opal. If you guys can't see that green, it's actually really pretty. Sage Goddess, that's where I got Paranormal Pixie. That's so funny. Sage Goddess is Be Kind sent me a $50 gift certificate to Sage Goddess so that I could purchase the Rainbow Obsidian Circle. All right. Dargo. The Fae of Wonder. All right. So this is a special card. There are, you know, 25 cards in this deck, and then there's 4 special cards. You got the first special card. So it is card number 1, but it's the second card number 1. Let me just find it. I'm sorry. Actually, there are 26. Okay. The Fae of Wonder invites us to go down the rabbit hole and then dive further down some more. My favorite thing to do. Ooh, green amethyst. That sounds interesting. With childlike exuberance and never-ending amazement at even the simplest things in life, the Fae of Wonder calls us to explore the spirit of wonder and childlike amusement in our lives. This card especially calls us to remember a time when the world was so much smaller, so new, with so much more to learn. Guess what? Fortunately, that time can still exist, but we must open our hearts and take notes from the Fae of Wonder. How can you create more wonder in your life today? So, Dargo, I feel like things could be feeling stuck, stagnant, stale, not only in, romantic relationships or in work, but I think in life in general. And I feel like a lot of us could be feeling that way. Mike, you've got a personal coming. Please try to stay calm and positive, and remember, we talked about like transition and spirit and signs and all that kind of stuff. So if you need me, I'm here. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be here yesterday, but I am here today. So I'll have RJ for the weekend tomorrow. But during the day, I'll be around. I'm sorry, Dargo. Okay, so a lot of us are feeling that way. And I think a lot of us reach a certain age where it kind of just all loses its flavor. For me, being a Pisces sun, Libra moon, and having the karmic baggage that I have, which led me to live the life I've lived, for me, romance and love will give me my taste back, if you will, my zest for life, my taste where everything, is beautiful and wonderful, no matter what else is happening. But that thing is different for everybody. So if you can find what will kind of reinvigorate you, rejuvenate you, on a smaller scale, for me, it's time alone. I really, really need that time alone, even weekly, if I can help it. So Dargo, I feel like while things may be feeling like they're just like always going to be this way, like one thing after another is the energy that I'm getting. And it's just like, sometimes maybe not even wanting to get out of bed in the morning, or maybe not bothering, not minding getting out of bed, but it's like, oh, now I got to go do the same thing. Now I got to go do that. Pull yourself out of that stagnancy if possible. If you don't have money to go on a vacation, go on a staycation, disconnect, watch your favorite movies, laugh, eat your favorite foods, do things that you enjoy on a smaller scale, maybe for a greater length of time. So, if you like I love going out to eat, even by myself. So if I were getting this reading, I would take myself out to eat 4 times this week. Laughing always helps pull us out of this. The message from Spirit is very clear on this card, Dargo, is that you have to make the most of what you have. But if you feel like you're never ending, stuck, stale, stagnant, and life kind of sucks, even if it just sucks for right now, it's still up to you to call on the energy you need or the energy needed to pull you out of this. And I feel like that's going to be baby steps. And maybe just instead of never ending grinds and headaches, you can do kind of what I explained to Lara I've been doing, where I've been saying, the universe can't be doing this to me, got to be doing it for me. I can't wait to see what amazing things are going to happen because of what just happened now. And maybe trying to kind of trick yourself into believing that better things are coming. Taking action as well. The universe is, I'm not saying you're lazy or that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So that's good. You're going to be off work for 2 weeks after next week. So that's good. The universe is showing me kind of this, like, you don't even have a desire to get out there. Like, you don't even have a desire to try to bring any of this in because you're like, why bother? Or you're just low on energy. Force yourself to get out there. If you don't have issues with drinking, obviously, if you're like in recovery, and I don't know if you are, but if I wouldn't suggest going out for a drink, but if you have no problem going out for a drink or two at a bar, go out by yourself, meet some people, talk to someone. If you want love in your life, someone with great energy at the bar, go on over and talk to them. It's about like taking action for you right now, especially, in the next couple of weeks. Definitely don't spend all your time at home thinking about how life sucks or even thinking about how to make it better. Go out and start trying to do things to make it better.
Okay, I'm just waiting to see if Pam Smith answers. I'm not sure if Lurks a lot will answer because they come in and say hi and then they go. And Zorg. And Zorb. Yeah, Zorg.
Zerg the Berg, you're breaking up a little bit. That's why.
Yeah, I am. I'm having internet issues, I think.
All right. Start calling a few people out or putting them in the stream if you don't mind. so that the
Yes,
people that are here don't have to wait. I
um,
appreciate you.
Kai, you still here? Kirby, you
Callie.
still here? Cowie. Kirby, Aunt Edna. I know Aunt Edna's here.
All right, Zerg's here. I'm going to read for him.
Great.
Zerg, let's do Shaman's Dream. I want to use Fairy Tale Oracle so bad. And I'm like, Fairy Tale Oracle? And they're like, no, Shaman's Dream. Okay. You're welcome.
We'll do it in the next. I know she's here.
Yeah, that artwork was really cool looking, right? I actually last year bought the Night Fairies calendar, the 2022 calendar, before I even knew Paolo Barbieri was making a deck. He has a Chinese Oracle, Zodiac Oracle. I'm going to get them. The only reason I don't go right out and grab his stuff is because there's not a lot of cards, and there are also those translated from other languages cards, so I have to like sometimes interpret the English. Zerg, you got Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom, and it's card number 34. I think 34 is going to be a good number for you this week, or put it together. 3 and 4 is 7. Great angelic numbers. Past lessons, being well-informed, and ancestral wisdom. There are times when you're meant to discover and explore new terrain in your life, even to be part of a wave of change. This is one of those times, and what you're contemplating is perhaps new to you, but others have laid well-worn paths and left wisdom for you to rely and reflect upon. This is so you have a better understanding of the potentials and possible pitfalls on your journey. When you know the lay of the land, you are better able to fully experience what it is that's being offered to you. This is a wonderful time to seek a mentor or good advice from an expert or an elder. That way, you will be able to meet life's opportunities and challenges well-informed. Knowing you have a map, now you can be curious about what else is here. This is a path that promises success in all areas. Where others before you have dared to tread, you will discover the treasure they have left behind for you to make your own. I'm getting, hi Pooja, so nice to see you. I'm getting here, Zerg, breaking ancestral patterns, whether it be addiction, whether it be abuse, whether it just be nobody in your family going to college and you were the first to do it. I'm seeing you break ancestral karma, ancestral bonds, karma that attaches to someone in your family and then runs rampant through the rest of the family for generations until somebody comes along, becomes spiritually aligned, and breaks it. Okay. I see you doing that. Being in this chat room, whatever else you're doing to awaken your spirituality, even if it's going to church. I'd say, I am religious. Jesus is a rock star to me first and foremost. That doesn't mean he has to be one to you, or you even have to believe in him in order to listen to my messages, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't push that on people, but I am a devout and born again Christian. And I'm one of the only people in my family that, not that believes in God or Jesus, but that actively worships, right? So I'm breaking ancestral patterns in that way. Coming into my abilities and really working with them and not suppressing them like I know I've done in past lifetimes. Things like that I'm doing. I see you doing similar things because I do see that this involves spirituality. Okay. For you, I'm having little internet issues, so I'm blinking in and out. Can you guys hear me still?
You're okay so far.
Okay. Let me know if I move.
Yeah. If you get bad, I'll let you know.
So Zerg, I feel like whatever the path is, and I could be way off, but I'm normally never way off, continue on it. Don't be afraid. Don't be deterred. There are going to be people, and we'll go back to the beginning of the readings. What's up, Nick? I hope Natasha's okay. We're going to go back to the beginning of the readings where I was talking about people acting out of fear, fear-based responses. It's easy for us to be fearful and then say, oh, we're not doing that. Yeah. Okay, great. So keep doing that. Don't be talked out of it. Don't be discouraged, because the more you seek, the more the universe will answer you. Keep at it, especially this week. I feel like there are some downloads, there's some information coming into you that is critical to you finding or getting closer to finding your life path, your soul's journey, why you are here, and what you're supposed to do with that information. And it is going to like have ancestral waves. I just see it going like a tidal wave over the next like 100 generations in your family. And that's pretty dramatic. I don't normally see that much, but I mean, it's there. So what you do now will have lasting effects on so many others. So try to stay aligned. She's alive. Like his daughter, who's a little bit younger than Damian, rolled her car, and had a pretty bad car accident the other day. So I've known her since she was like 3 or 4 years old. So, you know, I was very concerned, but I was doing my personal stuff when he messaged me. So I'm like, I hope she's okay. And I'm like, so I didn't mean to sound, you know, like disregarding it in any way. I've been praying for her and sending her energy. Who's next?
Edna.
Pooja, if you need a reading, that's fine. Thank you. And I sometimes the little Wi-Fi thing pops up and goes all the way down, and I'm like, oh no. Pooja, just come in. You know, we put your name on the list. Just try to be mindful for when we call it. Spirit is on a roll tonight, as usual. I had to ask a couple entities or energies anyway to pull back a little bit from me. But we're all good now. We're all here. I got to give these cards a crack, and then just give me a second. Barring any significant changes in my personal situation, I do plan on doing monthly / anytime freestyle readings over on Moon Bear Oracle for each astrological sign. Just got to kick myself into gear, and I believe after Christmas I'm going to be able to do that. 2023 is going to be a great year. And assistance with access, card number 10. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to be able to receive it. Zurg, you are so welcome, and thank you. And I'm glad, you know, I'm always glad when it immediately resonates. Maidenhood is a time of limited autonomy. It is the budding stage of underdeveloped mental, physical, and emotional capacities. It is also a period in which there is the least distortion clouding our connection to spirit self. Conversely, the older we get, the more autonomy we have, and the more estranged we are from our spirit selves. Throughout life, we require the assistance of others, circumstances, and the world in order to grow. Whether or not we like it, acknowledge it, or accept it, a time will come when we cannot ignore that we can neither do everything alone nor have everything done for us. We must learn the middle way of active and receptive living with and amongst others and the world. The maiden holds a key that illuminates her surroundings. She is pointing the key toward her chest where she believes the lock to be. However, her conscious attention and desires are not enough to find the keyhole and unlock her way into all that is within. The maiden requires assistance to discover the full spectrum of who she is. This is the same for every one of us. Like the maiden, we all hold the key to ourselves and simultaneously remain in need of an interdependent relationship with other people, places, and situations to assist us in accessing the full terrain of our spirit self. The maiden supports you through a time of asking for help and accepting it from those who are genuinely of pure source, love, and light. May you allow yourself the time to seek out those knowledgeable and willing to assist you in learning how to access and embody your full power and your full purpose. Throughout your journey of self-discovery, remember to practice discernment and trust your intuition on whether someone, a situation, a thing, or a place is safe and right for you now. Always receive with gratitude and love that which is wholeheartedly and transparently given to you. Maiden's message: attention is your key to everything. And let me try that again. Maiden's message, Aunt Edna. Attention is your key to everywhere and anything. Spirit self is accessed through the experience of being in harmonious communion with the world, situations, and with others. Your external reality is both the reflection of and the aperture into your inner portal. To know who you are is to experience yourself in relation to what it seems you are not. So you got a little bit of it right, needing to ask for help, okay? Needing to ask for help from the right people, though. And I feel like sometimes we really want the right people to be who we want them to be. And a lot of times in a romantic relationship, we want so badly for it to be our significant other, but sometimes it's just not, right? So we have to move on from that and find ways to deal. And I feel like for you, it's like you've asked for help from the wrong people so many times that could be a reason why you're asking for help comes with fear for you. Because whether or not you understand that, that's a fear-based non-response. Not asking because you're afraid of, being hurt or being led the wrong way. But at the end of the day, you have free will and you have amazing intuition. You're a light worker. You're an empath. Come on, you know who's full of it and who isn't. If you're struggling with something and you don't trust another human being to help you, or if who you need help from isn't available, call on source. You're so very connected. You've ascended. You're finding your way into the 4D, into the transition of the collective. So whatever is going on, especially this week, start becoming comfortable even with the idea. If you can become comfortable with the action itself, even better, of relying on the universe more, relying on spirit, of relying on source, God consciousness, God, if that's what and or who you believe, right? Your higher power, even if it's just your higher self. Relying and depending on something that is bigger than you. And even if you're like, oh, well, I do that, you may have lost sight of it and you don't realize it. And this is spirit calling you back into that spiritual alignment, that kind of perfect simpatico relationship with the universe. It wants you back and it's calling you. So, all right, Nick, love ya. Keep in touch.
Okay, well, I took away one person. Go ahead and do Mike, and I'm going to put it in comments for him.
I'm going to do the fairy tale oracle for Mike.
Okay.
Yes, and I do think your ancestors are calling. Well, Nick, we're at 9:39. If you want me to read for you and put the timestamp in, I'll do it after Mike's reading.
I was going to say that to him anyway. So, yeah, I can do that for you, Nick. No problem.
Yeah, give Natasha a kiss for me, and I'm here if you need me. I've got Brat for the weekend, which I can be more excited about. So
I'm going to miss him because the last time you saw him, I was with you.
Huh?
I said I'm going to miss him because the last time I was with you, I got to see him.
I know. You could probably see him over line, though, or on a video call. It's not like I'm not going to talk to you all weekend. And I know you're so welcome, and I hope you did. Because you're one of those people that like I said, I remember the energy of the readings, and you don't get messages like that often. So whatever you're struggling with, definitely reach out to source, to your ancestors. There's a lot of information there for you. And you know how to access it. Good night, Salvador. You're so welcome, and thank you. You're so sweet. You are this amazing blast of energy every week, and I just love it. Ooh, Mike, you got Cinderella. It's the card of magic with a K, and I don't know if I've ever pulled her, and if not, I have not pulled her often. In this beautiful image, Cinderella is within midnight, the moment of transformation itself. At midnight, she has returned from her momentary glimpse into another world. A world that has been denied to her for so long, and she is the only person who knows how she got to transcend class and family boundaries and experience this one night that will come to change her life. But in this image, she knows that the time to return to what has been her reality and to wait for the truth to emerge has come. She holds forth the timepiece, the fob watch, which marks the moment when the world changes for her. In this gesture, she reminds you that you too have the ability to move between worlds. And to experience worlds that have often seemed forbidden to you. You have seen how the quote unquote other half lives, and nothing can take away from you the experience that you've had. But the hour to return is upon you too. There is a time for glamour and mystique and great magic. There is a time to return to the mundane, but you know that there is hope. Because this is not the end of this story for the girl who spent her time in the ashes of the fireplace, in the cold and the filth. There will soon be a knock at the door for you, as there will be for her, and the proof will be that it is your time to step out of the shadows and away from the cruelty and become the central point in a life that is better than you have dared to ever dream. And no matter how many people attempt to oust you, no one can take your place, for this is fate and this is your destiny, Michael. This card also speaks to you of the sacred times that are magical and hold transformative qualities. When you make your wishes at those sacred times, change will come, just as it does for Cinderella. Choose your time wisely. Keep to within the instructions. Trust the outcome will be good. Rebirth, one life ends, another begins. Phoenix, rising from the ashes. Enchantment, magic is at work. Transparency, be clear and true. The right person is coming for you. Mike, I feel like this is talking about your glimpse of magic, literally with a K. Your glimpse of spirit, right? You and I were working so hard on that at one point, and then things kind of really transformed for me in a way that I had to focus more on myself personally, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. And therefore, you were left to kind of figure it out, and you did very, very well. But you did kind of move on from it. And what this card is saying, Michael, is that you have to get back into it. You already know that it works, even if on a very small scale. And if you can trust and believe in that, that's fine. I do think this is about transformation, transition, maybe losing someone you love, but understanding the magic of them being there in spirit, understanding that they're still here, and really focusing on that to get you through. Because if you can get through this on a spiritual level, the universe with this card and at this time is guaranteeing you a much more aligned and therefore a better quality of life than what you've been living, what you've been hoping for. You're going to be able to bring to you simply by remembering spirit, your ancestors, your deceased loved ones, your friends in the community, and leaving behind old ways of coping. That's really important. For Nick, I'm going to use energy and spirit. Connections, partnership, contract, and commitment, card number 29. Upright, this card indicates that a personal or professional connection is at hand. This is maybe a new friendship, romantic love, or a kindred spirit with a shared interest or activity. This could also reveal a deepening love in a present relationship, bringing a strong sense of camaraderie, or increased intimacy. Alternatively, the partnership here could be more of a business connection, such as a job venture or a new job, a joint venture or a new job. It could even take the form of a contractual commitment. The sale of a property or the resolution of a legal issue is likely to go in your favor at this time. However, this important commitment takes shape. Be open to all the new connections coming your way, including profound new relationships with caring spirits. This card foretells blessings of love, friendship, and shared good fortune in your life. So this card fell into my lap, and I didn't know which way it fell. And I'm looking, and I actually see, Nick, that I'm getting more of a reversed meaning for you. So I'm going to read that one as well. Reverse, this card reversed reveals a potential dismantling or at least distancing of a personal relationship. This may be a business, social, or romantic connection, signaling anything from a temporary work assignment far from home to a significant fracture like a lost job or potential divorce. It could also be a sign that a developing romance may not move in the direction you desire, but try not to shut down and isolate yourself. Get out with others of like mind and engage in a truly compassionate relationship with yourself. It's time to feel the abiding love of your own eternal spirit. In fact, the need for self-love may be a life lesson for you, so don't dismiss this important intention. You deserve to hear the tender-hearted whispers of your own soul. Your affirmation for this week: wonderful connections abound in the universe. I am attracting all types of happy and beneficial relationships to me now. Yeah, so the dissolution of relationships, but I feel like you've already kind of gone through that. You do have an issue with letting go. You also have issues with, and this is not me, this is not Gemma, this is not judgment, this is what's coming in. You're having issues with maybe some pride. I put all the effort into this for all these years. Why should I let go of it? You know, things like that. I think the focus of this card though, Nick, is self-love. Okay. Spirituality, something that you don't really believe too much in, but that you're willing to kind of accept on the periphery as long as it's easy. And it's like, you can't be half in, half out at this time. Okay. I think Natasha's car accident could be affecting you, or should be, according to Spirit, affecting you in a way that you're more open now to maybe the idea even of guardian angels. Nick, spend some time with yourself. Spend some time doing things for you. I don't want to hear you say, I can't, I'm too busy, I don't know what that looks like. Like, none of that BS. Okay. I know you personally, and I've known you longer than I know anybody else on this street. And I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to subscribe to your BS. So this message is for you to start getting to know yourself and loving and appreciating yourself enough that anyone who comes into your life or reappears in your life, or who's already in your life that doesn't love you that much or more, girl, bye. Literally girl, bye, because it is a specific girl. It's multiple, and I see a lot of female feminine energy. So maybe multiple women that are just not treating you right. Multiple people in general. And you're mad about it. You're angry about it. You're lashing out about it. You ruminate on it. You stew about it, but you're not defending yourself to the point where you're actually separating. And you holding on to these toxic and uncaring, codependent, nasty, mean, rude, raunchy people is affecting your energy, because that gross energy is attaching to your energy and you're walking around with it. These other people are too, but that's their stuff to deal with. That's not who you are as a human being, but you are becoming embittered. You're becoming disillusioned. You're becoming lost. You're becoming angry because you're not loving Nick. Who's next?
Listen to her, Nick.
Oh, he better. I know where he lives.
Ooh,
I know where you live, and I've seen where you sleep. Let me stop before I end up actually somebody takes me seriously. Oh my God, something happened to Nick. Why? Did you hear that girl threaten him on YouTube? Guys, I've known him for like 15 years. Chillax.
Slow-mo.
Urban Crow. I know my mom got me an Oracle deck, but I don't remember which one it is. Something to do with water, I think, because she told me to pick it out, but I don't remember which one it is. I can't wait to open it.
You got your water guppy deck?
Bubble, 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 guppy, guppy, guppies, bubble, bubble, guppies, guppies.
You knew exactly what I was talking about.
I love the little blue one. What's his name? Gil.
Every time I'm with my grandkids, they're watching this, and I'm like,
I used to love bubble guppies.
I watched them with Ash, Rebecca, when she was little. And I didn't mind it at first, but it got to showing the same ones over and over.
Are you thinking of the Snorks?
No, Storks were around when I was little.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. You got kind of caught up there. This is slow motion. You got the card of anticipation, card number 3 in the Urban Crow deck. I just love this deck. It's gorgeous. I don't have any connection with crows or anything like that. I just beautiful deck. Last night, I was just scrolling through Amazon. And it's like, this deck is on sale. And I keep seeing this deck over and over. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. $19, I'm good. Each morning when I wake up, there is a crow outside of my window on the street lamp anticipating the arrival of a meal. Perhaps I trained the crow, or maybe it was the other way around. When there is a pattern, we begin to expect a particular outcome. Anticipation brings hope and butterflies in the belly as we expect something to happen that brings joy and or satisfaction. There is but one warning. Be careful of any attachments held for the desired outcome. If what you receive falls short of expectations, the feeling of joy can transform into disappointment. What are you looking forward to at this moment? How will you adjust if your expectations are not met? I feel like this is just a card of a warning of having too many expectations. Now, there are certain expectations, and I'm going to take a hit of my vape, I'm sorry, that we should all have. And let me tell you about that. We should have from the universe an expectation of abundance as we work toward having abundance, okay? We should have an expectation of being treated with respect and dignity and kindness from all other people and energies, entities, creatures that are around us. And if not, we need to take care of that immediately before it becomes a part of us, a part of our energy, a part of what we carry around, like I was just saying to Nick. Slow motion, I think this card is just telling you, and I wish I could be like, yes, anticipate whatever this is going to be amazing. The message I'm actually getting is these expectations you have of another person. So whether it be of your boss giving you a raise, of your significant other finally supporting your dreams, whatever it is, I feel like you should prepare for this to not happen. Prepare for the worst, I guess, which is, it's not really the worst. I don't want to say the worst because that's not really, I should never tell anyone to prepare for the worst. Always expect the best in people and from the universe. Expect the best in life. But when it comes to expectations of people, we should never expect more than I guess we're willing to give, even if that's what they offered. So I feel like someone made a promise to you or made a deal with you and you're anticipating the final outcome. It may not go as planned. So start anticipating like just a backup plan. Have a backup plan for if something you're expecting doesn't happen. I guess that's the best way to put it. Because if I say prepare for the worst, then that means you're focusing on the worst possible outcome and you're going to bring it to you. But Spirit is very clear that someone is, what is it called? Misleading you. Okay. And it's going to be found out very soon because like, just say you gave $10,000 to an investment, you're expecting the return this week. You're not getting that return this week. Doesn't mean you're never getting it. It just means somebody misinformed you purposely. Someone misled you, not misinformed, misled, purposely misled you. And I think you're going to need to deal with that situation in a response, not a reaction, like we talked about in the beginning. Who's next?
Pooja.
All right, let me switch these because I am not getting anything out of this vape and it's very annoying. Hopefully this one will work.
Want me to get the hammer?
Huh?
You want me to get the hammer? No. Okay.
They break so easily. That's why I drop them a lot. Pooja, I'm going to use Wisdom of the House of Night.
They tend to get up and walk away from you too.
Because I keep it in my lap in the car. I keep it in my lap on the couch. Every time I get up, I'm like, oh man, why did I do that? I have like 14 of them, but like 3 of them work. And then I forget which one I charged. And if you overcharge it, break. They're 99-cent mods. I mean.
What the
All
heck?
right, Pooja. That was like way too many. Okay, you need to back your energy up. Respect the body you are using, or you may not use it. You have strong energy with you, strong energetic, I guess alliances would be the right word, but they're coming on too strong. Thank you. Deceit. Card number 38, Nefret. Pooja, when you choose the symbol of deceit, be very careful about your motives in making your choices. In the House of Night, there is one who has betrayed herself and all those who looked up to her. I am also warning you that someone may be stabbing you in the back. Regardless of the circumstances of your question, I warn you about deceit. And this is probably why the energy came in so strong, because they really want to get this message to you. There will be a price to pay for betrayal in all forms. Only you know how much it will cost. That said, although the energy of betrayal can be seductive, I am stronger. You are forewarned. Pooja, I see someone making an offer to you, something like, I don't want to say get rich quick scheme because that's not what it is, but like in that energy, somebody offering you something too good to be true, if only, I got a little dust on my screen there, if only you compromise this. And the offer may be so seductive that you're contemplating it. The universe is saying, don't even think about it. This person is not spiritually aligned. This person is not aligned with light. I actually feel a very malevolent energy. This could be someone with an attachment. Not a good person coming in or around you right now, who's going to be putting ideas in your head. I believe because you either care for, love, trust this person, whatever this relationship is, it's a close one on your side. Understand that this person cares only about themselves and what they can get from other people. Unfortunately, you are one of those people, and I don't like giving messages like this, and I don't often do it, but I refuse to sugarcoat. I used to do that, and I can't censor the messages that come in. So, except a lot of you guys have people that curse, and I kind of have to filter that out. Yeah, there's a lot of foul language thrown around here in a fun way, but we just can't do that on YouTube. But Pooja, this is very serious because this person will literally, they're psychically vampiric, they're energetic, they're ill, just yuck. Like if they could drain your blood, they would. Like this is a horrible human being because of attachments they have, because of choices they've made, like the one they're about to offer you. If you even have an inkling as to who this is, just detach. Don't confront, don't react. Just move on before any of their mess can attract to you. And then if you're not a certain kind of person or at a certain point in your spiritual journey, you will not even know the attachment's there. And therefore you won't know to get rid of it or how. There is someone bad in your orbit, honey, and I feel like you care very much for them. Or they're coming in to seduce you. And there's someone like, who's that internet guy, John, whatever, where he like had 5 different women that he was like stealing all this money from each and every one of them. He was engaged to all of them, married to 3 of them. And he was draining all their bank accounts, telling them, oh, I'm going on a business trip. And he was going to see the other wife. And one of them finally killed him because he was becoming dangerous as they figured him out. It's that type of guy. I think they called him Dirty John. That was literally the name of the documentary I watched. So there is a Dirty John coming into your life, but it could be a Dirty Jane too, and it doesn't have to be romantic. But I do feel a seductive energy, like they're luring you in with something, and I feel like your heart is involved or is going to be involved. So don't date this month, girl. Who's next?
Ready?
Heather Nikki, is she here?
Yep.
She's here.
Yeah. She was here. She said thank you earlier. I'm sure she's listening or busy.
All right. I'll take your word for it. Let's do Journey of a Lonely Soul.
And Pooja, thank you. And
You're so welcome, guys. I'm on a tiny bit of a delay because my Wi-Fi keeps blinking in and out.
Yeah, I'm having some issues too.
We're almost done though, right?
Yeah, and Heather's the last one.
Okay. If Heather ends up really being the last one, we'll read for you real quick.
Okay, I guess.
I understand, Jem. It's okay. Thank you. All right. Heather, you got card number 20, Diving Toward the Heavens. She glides through the shadowed realms, far beneath the waves, seeking hidden secrets among the soft plants. Lungs straining for a new breath, she reluctantly returns to the world above. The many mysteries of our inner realms are worthy of long and thoughtful pursuit. With each new discovery, we are drawn further and further within, unearthing secrets we are unaware we had buried. But the time has come for you to seek the surface once more. Arise once again to the lands of light where rest and good company may be found. Dwelling too long in darkness will strain you and make each journey back that much more difficult. The current and eddies of your emotions can drag you down into the depths if you have worn yourself out in an extended dive. If the pull of the dark waters becomes too strong, you may wish to unburden yourself with another. Speak with them about that which weighs down your soul, and you will find that with your next swim, you are able to be more easily into your flow. Go catch your breath. Ask yourself, what will bring me lightness at this time, and what personal discoveries do I wish to share with others? I feel like this has to do with a connection to someone else. They are overwhelming you. They're smothering you. They are, oh, Miss Lara, I didn't even know you were still here. I love you too, girl. Please get well. I feel like they're just too much. This could be some kind of toxic, some kind of abusive relationship, codependent, chaotic at least. Heather, this person is like slowly sapping you. This person is slowly taking everything that you have. And the more you withdraw from this person, it's like you're also withdrawing from the world. I feel like a control, the marionettes are back. I mean, just like I said to Pooja, this person has already seduced you. Like they're far past the act of seduction. Now you're just theirs. Heather, I don't know who this person is or what this situation is, but it's another one where like, if you don't stop withdrawing from the people that could help you, withdrawing from your ancestors, withdrawing from your spirit guides, if you stop listening to your inner voice, your intuition, okay. Heather, I feel you on that. I really, really do. I'm dealing with it too. Definitely do that appointment, because this person is now, I see it just like your light slowly going out. It's really concerning. I don't see things like this often where it's such powerful manipulation, control. You're going to end up losing like a soul piece, which is really hard to do, but it does happen. And once that happens, you've got like 10, it's like breaking a mirror, 7 years of bad luck. This is like 10 years of not bad luck, but just like, please go take care of that. Come back next week. I'd like to give you some better news. Regardless of whether or not you feel you can or you can't, you definitely can detach. And now is the time to find a way, because this is not going to end well for either one of you. But I'm concerned with you. So please do everything that you can. And I promise you that as hard as it is, it will get easier and easier as the days go by if you disconnect and start getting your energy back, start getting yourself back, and finding out who you are, remembering things that you like. That was a hard read because it comes with the emotion attached to whatever I'm reading. So when it's like that, it really kind of, I want to just shut down for you, but you can't do that anymore. There's got to be at least one person in your world, near you and around you, that can help you. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. Believe me. You're very welcome. All right, let's pull a card for Stephen and then call it a night.
You really want to?
I really do. I want to use the Urban Crow on you. I just want to see.
What do you want to see?
I just want to see your week. Do you mind? I mean, if you really mind, I won't do it.
No, I don't mind. I'm just picking on you.
Because I can't do it without permission.
I know.
Heather, that's because I've been there, honey. I'm there. Not been there. I'm there. I mean, not nearly, as bad as, but I've been in my life in that kind of abuse.
Don't isolate yourself. If you could find somebody to connect to.
There's got to be at least one person.
There's got somebody out there.
Everybody's got somebody. I'm talking like a living somebody. Everybody has somebody. All right, Stephen, you got the card of illusion, card number 24. Have you ever been absolutely positively 100% certain about a situation only to find that the complete opposite is true? Then reach out to that friend, girl. During a reading, illusion may surface to help you uncover if you are clinging to a narrative that suits your feelings about a situation rather than the facts. For example, the person who spends their day angry that their email was not answered, they assume the recipient read it and ignored it. All that energy being upset and angry could have been avoided if they had just realized that they themselves forgot to hit send. Illusion might appear if we are operating on false assumptions or if we are in denial and do not want to accept the reality of a situation. When we double down or commit to the story we created in our minds, our actions and behaviors are then a byproduct of what we want or assume to be true. If our assumptions are wrong, our actions and behaviors may have negative consequences. Does your interpretation match reality? Or are you acting on illusion? I don't feel so much, Stephen, that you're acting on an illusion in any part of your life, but I feel...
Ah, you froze.
Am I back?
You're back now.
I don't know if I froze or if I just stopped and looked over and paused.
It
I was
looked
like,
you
I
froze,
feel,
but it's good.
I feel like, damn, I lost the message when he said I froze. Hold on. I feel like, I don't feel like this is an illusion per se, but I feel like there's complication. And I feel kind of like what I said a few readings ago to this card. Maybe it was slow motion, I'm not sure. Whoever this was, the anticipation card, where it's like, just make sure that you understand all aspects and sides to and of the situation, and be prepared for it not to go in a way that you want it to totally and completely. I don't feel like there's any kind of deceit here. I don't feel that there's like purposeful misleading going on, but I do feel like you may be very confused sometimes about a situation, or there's something going on where it's like 1 minute you feel everything's really great and everything's going to turn out good, and then there's like 5 minutes later you're like, I don't know, like you're putting a lot of energy into a situation that the universe is saying you just kind of have to be who you are, do what you do, and let it play out, and don't allow yourself to only see one path to whatever this is, or one way that this thing could be. Like there's multiple facets, multiple players, multiple outcomes, if you just remain yourself though, remain calm and just stay mindful of everything happening. And if you don't know, ask. If you have questions, ask. Be yourself. Understand that you have the right to clarify things in relationships and situations you're involved in. And that's not being a jerk, and that's not being mean by saying, hey, I thought this was happening, but now this is, can you explain that? That's always okay. As long as you approach these questions in the situation, the person, whatever it is, with kindness. I think that the situation's ever changing. So for you to want clarity every once in a while is okay. And I feel you're like blocking yourself for some sort of fear. And I feel like, just like I've been saying all night, like acting or not acting out of fear is never the right answer. So if you have questions, you have the right to ask them. If you're confused, don't allow yourself to stay confused trying to figure it out yourself. Just go to the source and be like, hey, this is confusing to me. This is why. And, you know, someone who cares about you, or if it's a professional situation, you know, if someone's a professional, they're going to give you the straight answer and give you what you need to hear, not what you need to hear, but they're going to tell you the answers to your questions honestly, because they care about you and they care about how you feel, or they care about being a professional in the situation.
Actually, guys, that was a very good reading.
That's a great deck. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget, Monday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to talk about the phantom time hypothesis, or phantom time theory. If you want to look it up beforehand, it's pretty sick. It means that we're technically living in the 1700s and the Middle Ages did not happen. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on that. Heather, take care. Lara, take care. And everybody take care. Have an amazing, wonderful week. Love, light, peace, be blessed. And remember the holiday spiritual boxes I'm trying to sell, and the holiday or just the regular scented manifestation sprays and 10 milliliter crystal oil rollers, autographed copies of my book, or paperback Kindle version you can find on Amazon. I've got 3 of them. And I think that's it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Steven, I will message you before bed. I've got to clean up, shower, and all that jazz. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, you take your time. Good night.